Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, T. Kell, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. T. Kell and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs. Instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 laps and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. You hear that, Ben? You hear that?
What?
Listen. Turn it up. Turn it up, Ben. You hear that? What's it saying? Hi.
That what it's saying?
Yeah, it's pumping up Josh Heupel. It's all along, man. Didn't even hear it until after the first day of fall camp practice. That's what he was saying the whole time, man. Talking about hype. Josh Heupel. Now you hear it. Now you hear it, Ben. This whole time we've been playing this, man. Even before Josh Heupel was a head coach. This whole time, man. There it is.
I still don't hear it, but I'll take your word for it.
So who's the All-American? After the first day of practice, we have plenty to discuss here on the Swain Event. Ben, good morning, my friend.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, man. I am good, man. Ready to rock and roll. How was the first day, man? Somebody had to stay back and play the music instruments and be the band while the Titanic went down. Somebody got to do that. That's what I did yesterday while you went out and was the hero and went to practice. So how was it, man? How was practice?
It was nice. It was football, and after the last several months, just to simply watch football, even if it was practice and in shorts and not in full pads, and it was the first practice. It was still nice to think about X's and O's and see the ball flying around and players flying around compared to all the other crap that we've had to talk about the last several months. So that's why it was great for me. I hate that they are practicing at 9 o'clock in the morning throughout the month of August, because that was my first and last practice that I will be able to attend this fall camp because of when they have scheduled practice, and unless they want to open up a Saturday practice, which I highly doubt that they will, because that is scrimmage day. But it was nice. It was nice.
Ben, I got your back. I got your back. All good, Ben. I got you, man. I got you. That's what we're a team, man. With our powers combined, I am Captain Planet. We are the Swain Event. With our powers are combined, Ben. I got you, man. I got you taken care of. 865-250-5503. Irish Networks hotline. If you want to get in on the conversation at any point of the show, you can do that. We'll be really lenient today because, hey, one Swain Event, right? One Swain Event. Yesterday, Ben, when you went to practice, I talked a little bit about how important it was for Josh Heupel, how he handles Austin Pope, and how that's going to build trust for his current team, his future team, future recruits. It's very, very, very important, and something that he has talked about in length is the importance of trust. Well, I'm sitting here on VolQuest.com, and the first thing I see on the opening page is an article from Eric Kane, and the title is "Replenish Linebacker Room Looks to Mitchell and Banks as Leaders." And I'm just sitting here like, so proud of Jeremy Banks, because this is a prime example of why sometimes you don't throw people away. You just don't throw them away. You don't throw them away. You can rehabilitate people. You can allow people to have second chances and earn second chances. Not have, but earn second chances based on what they do. And to be in a position that Jeremy Banks is right now, that means he's done a lot of work. He has earned the right to be here. Because being in this position of leadership, you don't get to this point by just showing up. You don't get to this point by just talking about it. You get to this point by your actions each and every day, your habits each and every day. So it's pretty cool to see Jeremy Banks in this position. I don't know if he's going to be a true leader for this team or a captain, or who knows. But to be in this position that he is in means that, man, he's put the work in. So that was the first thing I thought about when I opened up VolQuest early this morning, was I saw Banks' name. I was like, man, what a journey. What a journey for Jeremy Banks.
Yeah, Tennessee needs him to play a big role on the defense this year, not only on the defense, but on the team as well. Tennessee needs leadership, and Jeremy Banks is a guy that can provide that leadership, not only at the defensive level, which is what you initially think of, but he needs to be a leader for the whole team.
And there's so many different ways you can lead too, Ben. You have your vocal leaders. Mm-hmm. You got your guys that lead by example. Derek Barnett was a perfect example, someone that, I never heard him talk before, to be honest. But he led by example. He led by his actions. And then you have, your rah-rah guys. And for some people that has a negative connotation because they think all you do is just talk and you don't do anything else. But your rah-rah guys can also be leaders because they're the ones who are vocal. They're the ones who are talking during practice. Come on, guys. Come on. One more. Let's go. Let's finish hard. All right, guys. Great day out here. Let's be great today. Come on, man. Thursday's the best day of the week. You have those guys. There's different ways different ways to lead. And Jeremy Banks, man, is someone that can lead because, man, he's the type of player that you need on your team.
Mm-hmm.
You actually need a couple more of these guys, some rough riders. You need some more rough riders on this team, and so you can lead by several different ways. And I know people are still caught up on him getting in trouble initially, and there's a ton of context that happened surrounding his arrest and him getting in trouble that I think people have not grasped and won't understand. And if they, were told, they don't want to hear it. They've already had their mind made up. Certainly was a bad decision on Jeremy Banks' part, but it's something that he's learned from, he's grown from, and it's pretty cool to see him in this position. And it's a prime example of just not throwing people away. Allow people to earn their second chances, because you never know, they may turn into something special. And Banks has that opportunity. He has that opportunity.
Yes, he does. Now, I'd also like to see him step up and be a productive football player for the first time in his career. That is something that he has not done, both because of injury and switching positions and getting in trouble, not having a true all-season last year to develop, which I don't know how much he would have developed anyway, since Tennessee did not have any coaching at the linebacker position.
You want consistent production.
I want any production. He hasn't really given any production at linebacker.
Man, I see him out there making a play or two. A play or two here or there. You want more, and you want it consistent.
I can't. When I think of Jeremy Banks plays at Tennessee, I think of the interceptions against the cupcake teams when he was, what was that, a true sophomore? In, I guess it would be 19. Didn't he have interceptions at one point against a couple cupcake teams? I mean, my point being, he hasn't made a whole lot of plays. You would think that he has by the way that we talk about him. So I would like to see him combine the leadership.
Who was we?
We as people who cover Tennessee and
you mean Swain Event or media?
Swain Event, the entire media. I mean, you just took up for him and said that he's made a play or two.
No, yeah, I mean, you when you play, I mean, you can't sit there and say a guy, hasn't made a play if he's out there playing. That would be like someone in basketball logging 30 minutes and they have 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists. And, we've covered Tennessee basketball. We've seen those type of performances before. But Jeremy Banks has made some plays, but he's just been inconsistent, and he needs to do more. Remember who was playing in front of him because of some political reasons. Yes.
Are you saying that he should have been playing over Henry To'oTo'o?
I'm saying that no, not Henry To'oTo'o, but Kavaris Crouch. There were several guys that could have been playing over Kavaris Crouch, to be honest. Aaron Beasley's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Banks. You can't tell me that Kavaris Crouch played so well at linebacker that no one was able to play over him. There was times when Banks was in instead of Crouch. Those guys rotated. So he has made some plays, but you're right. We, the media, have talked about him more than what his production would suggest. Why? Because his time at running back, people start hyping him up, making T-shirts, stealing the young man's money because, what was it, calling him a bull or whatever.
Something like that.
But just a lot of hype early because people liked the way he ran the football. But he has had some injuries. He was off the team for a little bit. So, yeah, I think we need to see more.
The former coaching staff completely ruined his development.
Correct.
I put the fact that Jeremy Banks only has 38 career tackles.
Mm-hmm.
He has 2 career interceptions, and they came in one game against UTC his sophomore year. He has one rushing touchdown, meaningful rushing touchdown, and even that. And when I say meaningful touchdown, I'm talking about in terms of who it was against. It was against Florida, but it was during the 2018 game in which Austin Pope fumbled at the pylon, and Tennessee was getting blown out. So how meaningful was even that touchdown?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not putting any. Well, it's not all on the former coaching staff, but I think a large part as to why Jeremy Banks hasn't maybe been as productive as we initially thought, because he definitely has the ability, the natural ability, the natural athleticism. He's got that type of dog in him that you want your players to have. But the reason he only has 38 career tackles going into this season is because the former staff ruined him. Should not have been playing running back. If Jeremy Banks or if Jeremy Pruitt truly thinks that Jeremy Banks is a better linebacker than running back, then he should have started off at linebacker. Maybe that was a Banks decision and not a Pruitt decision. Pruitt was high on allowing his players to start off playing where they wanted to play, and maybe that's why Banks started at running back.
I'm cool with him playing running back at the beginning.
Yeah,
because I mean, you needed some guys that can with some physicality. Remember, we had Todd Chandler and
Mondre London.
Yeah, you had some smaller guys that wasn't necessarily the hammer, but the moment that Banks started putting the ball on the ground, it was time to start relocating his position meeting room. And that's what's happened in Tennessee. As long as Tennessee has been good, is you take a very good running back from high school or one that got a chance early here in Tennessee, and then you move their butt to linebacker and they go on to be All-American. So I think the decision to start him at running back was okay. The problem was he didn't have adequate coaching at linebacker last year. That was the biggest problem. No one in that room had coaching, from a linebacker coach with any experience coaching the position in a pivotal year inside of the SEC. I mean, that was criminal to put a first-time coach at that position. I mean, you can't play around with that position. You can play around with like tight end or running back or something like that, but you can't play around with a really good recruiter who does not have any coaching experience at linebacker. No, that's the quarterback of the defense. Absolutely not. You can't play around like that. But Banks did make several plays in his time on special teams. 1/3 of the game, equally as important as the other two phases of the game. But we need to see him more on defense, and we need him to be more consistent and
productive.
Yeah, well, yeah, more, see him more. Let's speak to the production. And we need to see him more consistently making plays, not just flashing here and there and disappearing. And part of it is his fault, and part of it is not his fault. But he's in a position where I don't know if you're gonna be able to sit here and blame the coaches, because he's gonna be given every opportunity to take the bull by its horns and go lead this linebacker group from an experience standpoint from Tennessee. But Mitchell probably is the best linebacker and the one who has been more productive in college. But these two guys, man, they have a chance. They can stay healthy. They can play together. They have a chance. And Banks he is a small linebacker, but you got to have those smaller linebackers, guys who can run. He is a little short for the position, but he can make up for with his intelligence, with his anticipation, with his effort.
His tenacity.
That's right, with his heart. Because he's Memphis.
I like Banks. I really do. But we have gotten into this mindset of talking about him as if it's a given that he's going to be a productive player for Tennessee, when we have not seen that to this point in his career. I think he can achieve being a productive player for Tennessee, and hopefully he can find his groove this fall camp, because he didn't go through spring because he was dealing with an off-season surgery that he had right after the season. So if Ryan Jean-Marie can get the most out of him to go along with Juwan Mitchell, who, Swain, Tennessee doesn't have a lot of players that look like SEC players, Juwan Mitchell looks like an SEC football player. That boy is thick.
I mean, he's coming from an SEC program.
That is true. He is coming from an SEC program in Texas, but he looks really good in shells. Well, they weren't even in shells, but in shorts and jersey, practice jersey. He looked good. He looked like an SEC football player. That was honestly one of the first things that stood out to me yesterday was, dang, Juwan Mitchell is huge.
You're not going to go chip paint on us, are you?
No. I'm not going to talk about his.
You going to talk about how you got an apple bottom and stuff, are you?
No, but if we start talking about Tyon Evans, I might go there.
First break of the day, Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Be right back.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market, and from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, T. Kell, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. T. Kell and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDropped of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live from the Low T Center studio. I mean, I tell you what, Josh Hyper, man, he's real comfortable.
Yes.
He's real comfortable. And I don't know how important that is as far as winning games, but
I think it's very important.
I mean,
well, it kind of goes back to our conversation that we had with Austin Price earlier in the week.
Who that?
True. That it may honestly that's my biggest concern is that he may be too comfortable. And what I mean by that is what Austin said on Tuesday, and I'll just echo what he said, is that, you know, he may not have he may give his coaching staff too much leash. It's the opposite. It is the complete opposite of Jeremy Pruitt. Jeremy Pruitt didn't give any of his fans, or his fans. Well, he definitely didn't care about the fans, but he didn't give any of his coaching staff a leash to do their job.
Try to do everybody's job.
Correct, especially early. That 2018 season, you always had the perfect way to describe it, of him going back to his high school coaching roots, of when he felt like he needed to pack everybody's lunches for road trips and do roll call on the bus to make sure everybody was on the bus to get to an away game, and cut the grass on the game field and the practice field. You know, got to coach the offense, got to coach the defense, the O-line, the D-line, the linebackers, the running backs, everything. Got to coach the kicker up, the punter. That was Jeremy Pruitt. He felt like he needed to do everything. And it seems like part of that is because of his high school roots. That's kind of what he grew up knowing. And you always revert back to what you know and what you're comfortable doing. And I do think that is an impressive trait about Jeremy Pruitt. It speaks to the level of football coach that he is. And hear that, football coach, not head coach. There's a difference. He is a great football coach when it comes to just coaching the game. And to me, that was always one of the more impressive traits that he had, is that he could coach multiple positions on offense or defense because he did it in high school. He did it growing up because of his dad. But at this level, you have to let your coaches coach. And it's the opposite that I'm concerned about with Josh Heupel moving forward, that he's going to have to prove, is that, yes, he lets his coaches coach and do their thing. He lets Tim Banks run the defense on and off the field. But when it comes time to make a decision, he also needs to be able to step up and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And he is very comfortable. And I think that is a good thing, because that will allow him to allow his coaches to coach. But does he allow that comfortability to maybe prevent him from stepping up and putting his foot down when it needs to be put down?
How comfortable did Walker Merrill look in that knee brace?
He actually looked real comfortable. I like Walker Merrill, man.
I do too.
I like Tennessee's young receivers. I like Walker Merrill. Jimmy Callaway looked good. Jimmy Callaway looked really good. He looked smooth, man. Jimmy Holiday looked pretty good. He's still young. You can tell he's still learning the receiver position. I mean, he's a guy that played quarterback in high school, and Coach Burns was getting on to him about being too stiff, kind of coming out of his stance and coming out of his release. He told him that he looked like a robot. So
gotta have loose hips.
Yep. So he's young and still learning the position, but Jalen Hyatt, there were three guys that really stood out to me yesterday. And please take this with a grain of salt. It was the first day of practice. They're not in pads. They're not really playing football. And we did get to see a lot.
I'm about to hype you up, man.
More than
I'm not taking a grain of salt.
We're used to. That's fine. I'm cool with what I saw because I saw flashes of it back in the spring as well. But Jalen Hyatt, he reminds me of when you used to talk about Cam Sutton going into his junior year, even though he stayed for his senior year.
Yeah.
He had a business approach to him. You could tell.
Good.
I thought Jalen Hyatt had that.
Good.
At least yesterday, by what I was seeing, he was moving with a sense of urgency. Like it was, we're working right now. He was getting on to guys, correcting guys.
What?
There was a youngster who looked.
I see you, Jalen.
It looked like this youngster was. Looked like he was trying to avoid throwing up.
Oh yeah, first day.
And I do think it was.
Did he have a visor on? Because that first day visor, woo.
And I think this was more of a coincidence than telling of the freshman's body shape. Because you hear that and you think, oh, he's out of shape. I don't think it was that, because this is a freshman that the coaches have spoken highly about, a freshman that went through the spring, was in the off-season program all season long. It looked like it was just an unfortunate coincidence for this young man that he just wasn't feeling well. And he was off to the side, like because he was eating a granola bar, trying to keep water down. And Jalen was like, come on, let's go. He was like trying to get him in the action.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think it was yesterday we had a conversation about how the first day of practice you have like all these emotions going on. You got the butterflies, especially if you're a freshman. You got these butterflies going on. Your adrenaline gets to rushing. And if you ever hear, anyone talk about managing your emotions in pregame before a big game. So like sometimes you see, Florida State game or the Miami Florida State game, and pregame they're at the 50-yard line about to throw hands, about to fight. Before those big games, you have to really do a good job of controlling your emotions, because if you don't, you'll turn around and you'll be exhausted. You'll be out of breath because you have, used so much energy hyping yourself up. Well, first day of practice is similar because you're so excited, man. You're so excited to get on the football field. You're a freshman. You're ready to show, what you have. You're the low man on the totem pole now. You're going to prove what you have. And then you turn around and you are in a system where there's no walking. It's high, it's tempo all the time from drill to drill. And it's built that way so you can get built-in conditioning. The days of Little League where you line up after practice, all right, guys, put your helmets on the side, put your pads on the side, and you run, 50 sprints, that's a waste of time. You can have built-in conditioning. And we would do that even without a fast tempo offense. Adding a fast tempo offense in, you definitely are not going to walk in between drills. It's going to be high tempo for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And for freshmen, they're not ready for that, man. They're not ready for that intensity. They're not ready for that fast-paced transition between periods. And I don't care if it's not hot at all. That's different, and that's something you have to get used to. So I can only imagine how that freshman was trying to adjust
Yes.
and had to catch his breath a little bit. Happens to the best of us.
Yes, and I point that out to point out, using that example, to set the stage for just the business-like approach that I thought Jalen Hyatt had in the 10, 15 minutes that I was really paying attention to him. And I was just simply watching the receivers. And honestly, I was watching the quarterbacks throw the football. And this caught my eye. I thought Jalen Hyatt had a very business-like approach. You could tell that he's no longer a freshman and kind of knows what needs to be done and where he needs to go. And I heard him chirping and correcting guys and encouraging guys and trying to help. So that stood out to me. He was one of the three that really stood out. Anderson Kobe was the other one that stood out to me. He's a guy that made some plays back in the spring, but also from time to time will drop the football, which obviously if you play receiver, not a great thing to do. But
so you end up at corner of safety.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly how you end up on the defensive side of the ball. But he looked really good going through not only simple routes on air, but also after they did that, they moved to one-on-ones, DBs versus receivers, and the quarterback was obviously throwing them the football, and he got the best of a couple of Tennessee's top DBs. So Anderson Kobe was impressive, and I wanted to bring up him and Jalen because that goes back to the original point that you brought up about how did Walker Merrill look in his big old knee brace. He actually looked good. I like Walker Merrill. I like Kobe. I like Holiday. Callaway looked really good. Callaway looked smooth, man, real smooth. All of Tennessee's young receivers are very impressive and have the ability to go out and really be playmakers on this team and in this league.
Sorry, man.
And then the third guy, real quick, Warren Burrell looks real good. If you had no prior knowledge about Tennessee's defensive back room, and that was the first day that you had seen that personnel, you would think Warren Burrell is your best corner.
You remember he came in snatching people's jobs as a true freshman, and battled injuries as a true freshman, and if he could just stay healthy, I mean, he's been there. Mm-hmm. He's been to the promised land as a starter in the SEC. So he's been there. He has a little taste of what it feels like to be a starter, and hey, man, he wants to get back there. I was laughing because I was having some flashbacks. Walker Merrill and I have a lot in common. True freshman. Entered the practice entered the practice field first time as wide receiver with a knee brace on. Because I started my career with a knee brace on.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How? Why?
I got hurt my senior year. Actually hurt in the Bob Jones game. And so I had a meniscus. I had an MCL that was improving slowly. But I started my career in a knee brace. And I remember, golly, I hope I don't get canceled.
Oh, boy.
But I remember I did not want it. I did not want a knee brace at all, man. I don't know how you run a knee brace on. But Amari Rodgers did it really well. His second to last year. When he tore his ACL and still played that fall. He tore it in the spring, still played that fall. He played with a knee brace on. But it was so uncomfortable for me. And I remember having trouble with it. And we had one of our players on the team that, he liked girls and he liked boys, whatever, cool. And I didn't know that. And he was really nice in helping me with my knee brace. He was really, really nice. I was like, man, this is why I came to Tennessee. Teammates are just really, really nice. He just volunteered to help me with my knee brace. and after I realized, and he was an older player, but after I realized that he probably liked dudes and girls, I was like, oh, was he trying to come on to me? Was my teammates trying to come on to me or something? That was weird. But I was over here laughing when you were talking about Walker Merrill on his knee brace because I had that flashback, man. I had that flashback of having a knee brace, a true freshman, and I probably had it on for like a couple days, and I was like, nah, man, this ain't gonna work. I I cannot move sideways. I cannot cut the way I want to. I feel like I was out here with just one leg. I feel like a pirate with a peg leg. I just couldn't do it. But glad that Walker Merrill was still able to look good even with the knee brace on. I shouldn't get canceled. I think I cleaned that up pretty good.
We need to go to break.
I think my teammates trying to hit on me, man. I think that's what happened.
The receivers looked good. Well, we'll see how much it translates to the games.
First day. First day.
I think they have potential. I think they have a lot of potential. In fact, they're just young, outside of Valus and Javonte Payton. And Javonte Payton looks smooth as well. Skinnier than I thought he would be. Not like skinny to the point to where if he gets hit, he's gonna snap in half. But a little slimmer than I thought. Julian Nixon. It's a good thing he's playing tight end. It would have been comical to watch him run around as a receiver. I don't see how he played receiver in high school. How was he not a tight end in high school?
In high school, you can do what you want.
You want to talk about big butts?
Yeah, in high school, you can do what you want because you're playing against little Timmy, who is, 5'3", 128 pounds, soaking wet. You can do what you want against players in high school.
A little bit I saw though, he had soft hands. Julian Nixon.
This is one thing we got to keep in mind. Today, tomorrow, leading up to pads, the receivers and DBs are going to look great. But what happens when them pads go on? What happens when there's a real threat of you getting your head busted when you come across the middle, or when you catch the football on the perimeter? And you're getting ready to make a move and the pursuit is coming. Like, what are you going to do then? What kind of football player are you going to be? So, like you said, you got to take things with a grain of salt. First day of practice, but it's good to see those guys bounce around and have some good days because the first day is the most important day. If you want to string together a good week, a good month of practice with consistency, it's good to start the first day. So now you got to do it again today. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design. When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
Attaboy is brought to you by Iris Networks. Reliable, high-quality business, fiber, internet, and voice. 90 days, no payment for business internet. irisnetworksusa.com. I mean, this is something that we expect. We expect for the USA team to do. And that is go out there and win the goal. But still give them credit when they go out there and play well. And that's what I'm doing today. The U.S. basketball team, 97-78 victory over Australia. They get an attaboy. Kevin Durant was doing his thing, as always. So I'm giving the men's basketball team an attaboy. I am going to give the ladies soccer team, they are in the finals. Even though the game is being moved because of some heat concerns.
Concerns.
Hey man, if we enjoyed some great weather like we did yesterday, that means somewhere around the world someone is not enjoying the same weather that we are experiencing. That's the way I look at weather, man. Somebody has to pay the price for us to have good weather. So like anytime there's a hurricane somewhere, we usually get some good weather, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Nice and breezy, cool. But someone has to pay the price. So I thought the same way yesterday. You got to be hot somewhere. But anyways, yeah. According to ESPN, it was hot in Tokyo. And so the gold medal game, the gold medal game between Canada and Sweden was moved. So U.S. is not even in them. The U.S. got beat by Canada. So no, they don't get no atta girl. Sorry, U.S. team. You get a Champion of Life T-shirt. That's what you get. You get a Champion of Life T-shirt. I did watch the women's soccer game when they played Netherlands, and it was a shootout. And then they beat Netherlands, and then they lost to Canada. So no, they don't get an atta girl. False alarm. The men's basketball team gets the attaboy today for getting that win over Australia, which is what they're supposed to do, right? U.S. team is supposed to win the gold.
Speaking of Australia, Ben Simmons is from Australia. Did you see?
I ain't worried about that.
Ben Simmons posted a photo of him working out, and it was like him like pulling up for a jump shot. I guess he deleted it.
He's not even on the Australia Olympic team.
But he posted this photo, acting like he gonna pull for a jump shot, and somebody, my guy Big Shot Rob sent me this. Somebody commented and said he really posted a photo like he acted like he actually gonna pull up and take a shot because he refuses to take shots, and Ben Simmons responded to that person.
He was talking about how rich he was. That's his comeback.
No, the guy who said something. He had like humongous lips. and Ben Simmons was making fun of him.
Okay.
It was funny.
Yeah, Australia. Ben Simmons is from Australia, but he did not participate in the Olympics because he wanted to work on his game, work on that jump shot.
Man, his comments. Woo. You better be working on that jumper.
People mean on social media, man.
Why ain't you behind the 3-point line? Bet you passed that instead of shooting.
Man, people mean. People ruthless, man.
Nah, I ain't falling for it. You didn't shoot that.
Golly, people mean.
I'm definitely not falling for it for a third time, Ben.
Man, I hope he gets a jump shot, man.
Stay in the gym. Don't come out.
I really hope he gets a jump shot.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you and him have your LSU ties. Oh, here it is. He really acting like he was about to shoot in that second pick. Ben Simmons responded and said, "Your lips look like you got stung by a bee, a nutty Professor Ad."
That was a good one. Big Orange Mac said, homie tried to pull a Jangle-Lane.
That was the dude that commented. Ben Simmons said something about his lips.
Hey, Ben Simmons, he could be in our locker room. Them jokes, man. That was a good one. Yeah, Big Orange Mac. He tried to get me, man. He tried to pull a little Jangle-Lane on me. I was like, Martin, Or what's the scene when Faison Love was in Money Talks? Remember that, Big Orange Mac? Faison Love, Money Talks, when Chris Tucker was in jail and Faison Love was trying to come on to Chris Tucker. He's like, no, wait, what you doing, man? No. That was me. What's going on here? Brian Hunsucker's, how does Cayman Marley look? Does he look like he'll stick at wide receiver, or will he be moved to DB next week?
I did not see enough of him to give you a legitimate answer, but I was stunned to walk out there and see him going through practice with the receivers in a number 42 jersey.
It's hard, man. It's hard when even if you practice for an hour and, you guys are almost there, an hour, 50 minutes watching basically half a practice, it seems like. But it's hard to see every single player and know, all right, this player did a good job today, that player did a good job today, that player didn't do a good job today. It takes like going to multiple practices to really be able to see different guys at different times, because you can find yourself just watching the wide receivers and wide receivers and quarterbacks together. And before you know it, 30 minutes has passed. A couple periods has passed.
You can't see everything.
You can't, because the defense, offense on different fields and
correct.
stuff. Yeah,
I stayed with the offense for 75%.
I don't know why you did.
Yeah, I was checking out the quarterbacks, which we haven't talked about yet.
I'm waiting for you to tell me who's going to be the starter based on yesterday.
Not Jared Garantano. That's just my answer. Everybody's been asking me, who's going to be the starter? Who looked the best? Not Jared Garantano. That is my answer. I have my opinions. I'm just trying to decide whether I want to go all the way and put them out there, because I know how y'all people like to bring it back on us if something else turns out to happen.
It's the first day, and I told you this yesterday. It's the first day, and every first day, there's more balls on the ground. Either bad passes, routes not being great, so it makes the pass look like it's, inaccurate. Mm-hmm. Drop passes. There's more of that the first day than any point of the season. And so you just have to be really careful coming to a conclusion on the first day, because when you're running the curl route and you're supposed to come back at 45 degrees, but the receiver comes back at 55 degrees. And
you look wrong.
And the quarterback is throwing where he should be throwing the ball to, but the receiver's not where he's supposed to be. It looks like the quarterback is inaccurate.
Yep.
And so you really have to be careful if you're sitting there watching it. If you don't understand where the receiver is supposed to be and what he is running, then you can come back and report that the quarterback is off and he's inaccurate when really he's not. So that's why you have to take things with a grain of salt when you're talking about the first day of spring practice. everyone looks the best. Everyone's going to be the freshest. Everyone's going to have the most energy. But you're going to see more balls on the ground. And that's the way it's always been. And I'm pretty sure that was the way it was yesterday.
There weren't a ton of balls on the ground. It honestly didn't look like a first day of practice. But you can also get a feel for the coaching staff's thought process based off of reps and who goes when. And yesterday it was Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton at the front of every line. And obviously I wasn't taking notes yesterday of how many reps Milton and Hooker took and Bailey took, Maurer took, but I barely saw Brian Maurer do anything. He was fourth in line and didn't see a ton of reps from Brian Maurer.
I mean, that's no surprise there.
And again, please take it with a grain of salt because I did walk over and check out the O-line rotation and see that Darnell Wright's getting a crack at left tackle behind K'Ron Calvert, Dane Davis. So when I stepped away to go look at the O-line, Brian Maurer may have stepped in and went through reps. But when the offense and defense got together, it was the same situation. And Harrison Bailey was third behind Milton and Hooker the entire time we were there as well. And it wasn't like Pruitt to where they all got equal reps either. Like, if you were going fourth under Pruitt, you still got the same amount of reps as JG. It's not the case anymore. And it felt...
Dang, first day.
Again, I don't
reps
have...
reduced.
I mean, I don't have an official tally, but to my naked eye and to what I was seeing and feeling, it felt like Milton and Hooker took the majority of the reps. That's what it felt like.
As they should.
Yes, as they should. And I had the same opinion after the first day as I did kind of throughout the summer and throughout that conversation we had last week. That everybody's kind of talking about Harrison Bailey and Joe Milton. I think that Hendon Hooker's going to prove to be the most consistent. That's my opinion, obviously. I think throughout the course of camp, Hendon Hooker will prove to be the most consistent. And that goes a long way under coaches, for coaches. So I'll be curious to see how that plays out. Joe Milton, by far, has the best stuff. Like a pitcher. He has the best stuff. He throws the absolute lights out of the ball. And I can see why accuracy has been the knock on him, because I'm not a quarterback's coach. I'm sure mechanics are involved, but I wonder how much of it is mechanics and how much of it is him just letting the ball rip. Because, I mean, it's a 5-yard route, and he's throwing it like he needs to throw it 70 yards down the field. I mean, he puts a lot of juice on the ball. There's a lot of zip on it, and it seemed like receivers were having a hard time catching it because of how much of zip was on it. And
they put mustard. What they call it, mustard?
Yeah, he puts a lot of mustard on his passes. So it seems like there needs to be a little bit of touch and feel developed there. But in terms of deep balls, I mean, he throws the absolute lights out of it. Now, Harrison did have the best throw of the day on a deep ball, but in terms of consistency, I personally thought Milton and Hooker looked the best. And if I want to take it a step further, I thought Hooker looked the best. He looks like a guy that's played a bunch of football, who's a senior, knows what he's supposed to be doing, and I think he's going to prove to be the most consistent. We'll see what happens in scrimmages.
That's a
a
strong word right there, Ben.
I think he's going to prove to be the most consistent. You know what you're going to get with Hendon Hooker. I don't know if the coaching staff knows what they're going to get with Milton, Bailey, Maurer.
Ben, I mean, to say that you think he's going to be the most consistent, that would, being the most consistent means that you are trusted the most, and
Yes.
that is you starting and playing.
Yes. Now, again, that was Milton's first day of practice ever at Tennessee. Let's see how comfortable he feels in a week or two. because once he does gain that comfortability, how consistent does he become?
Hour 2 coming up.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
At Hiller, we care about your family's comfort all year long. If you get caught without air conditioning this summer, we're offering a free service call with any repair. That's a free service call when we do the work on your HVAC system. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your appointment today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Ben McKee, Jason Swain here. It is the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Go check out Food Paradise. Dead End Barbecue is featured in episode number 4, season 15. And right at the start of the show, Dead End is featured. They featured the Bernie Mac. Ben McKee's favorite dish on the menu. Favorite dish.
Shh, don't say that too loud. I don't want the Mac Attack to get jealous.
Hey, man. The Mac Attack is serious too, man.
Honestly, the Bernie Mac and the Mac Attack is like 1A, 1B. I know I talk about the Bernie Mac more, but the Mac Attack, you could ask my wife. When we go, I mean, it takes me 5 minutes to see what I'm feeling that day. Am I going to go with the Bernie Mac? Am I going to go with the Mac Attack? It takes me a couple minutes of sitting down and trying to get a feel. I usually eat the sausage and cheese plate while I think about, okay, what are you feeling today, Ben? Do you want the Do you want the Bernie Mac? Do you want the burnt ends on top of the delicious mac and cheese, or do you want the pulled pork or the brisket on top of the mac and cheese in sandwich form? What you feeling today, Ben? It's truly 1A, 1B.
Yeah, the Mac Attack is basically the Bernie Mac. If you get it with brisket, it's basically the Bernie Mac in a sandwich. If you think about it that way.
That's probably why I love it so much.
Yeah.
Or both of them equally.
Yeah. So it just, I guess you have to ask yourself, do you want more carbs or not that day? Because the mac and cheese itself has the carbs, but then, if you put it inside of Texas toast, you have the Mac Attack. But if you eat it on a plate with the Bernie's on top, you have the Bernie Mac and the Chow Chow, the Tennessee Chow Chow, which sends it over the top for sure. But if you have not watched Knoxville's own Dead End Barbecue featured there on Food Paradise, the cooking channel, man, please do that. Really, really cool. So really cool to see a Knoxville company, Knoxville business, restaurant being featured in that way. So touchdown turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong, better rates and better service. Mention Warren Burrell. I know you spend a lot of time watching the offense, but in watching the offense, if you watch one-on-ones, which you did, you got a chance to see the DBs work too. Touchdown turnover. Do you think Warren Burrell is CB1 or CB2? Two guys start at once. Do you think Warren Burrell is a starter at corner on one of the sides?
Touchdown. I really like Warren Burrell. I always have, and because of injury, because of the transfers, because of the amount of Alante Taylor talk over the summer, he gets forgotten about. And in a way, I think that's a good thing because there's not a ton of pressure on him coming into fall camp, coming into the season like there is a Alante Taylor or Jawan Mitchell, guys that everybody is expecting big things from. Warren Burrell can kind of fly under the radar. So I say touchdown. He looked good and has always looked good when healthy. So I say touchdown. I just how I feel about Kenneth George Jr. I don't think he's an SEC starter. We had that conversation 2 summers ago, last summer, going into last season, I think it was. So I think Warren Burrell is better than Kenneth George. That's why I'm bringing that up. Kamal Hadden, I didn't see enough of him yesterday to have a definitive opinion, but the reason I slot Warren Burrell over Hadden is because Warren Burrell's been here. Kamal Hadden has not. Kamal Hadden did not go through the spring. Brandon Turnage just got here a couple weeks ago. It was cool to see 29 in the defensive backfield yesterday, the number 29 in the defensive backfield. Appreciated that. Also love seeing 14 in the defensive backfield with Christian Charles lining up at safety. That was cool. Hopefully it's like a Space Jam situation to where they feel the 14 Christian Charles does and he channels his inner Eric Berry and starts playing like Eric Berry. That'd be pretty cool too. But I just think I'm trying to think, are there any other corners that I left off? Those are the only other three options is Kenneth George, Kamal Hadden, and Brandon Turnage. After that, you get into walk-on. So I think Warren Burrell right now is in the best position to start, and I thought he looked good yesterday.
That corner battle is going to be fun to cover. I know everyone gets jacked up about the quarterback position, but, I mean, the quarterback position doesn't have any suspense for me. But the cornerback position, because you got some experience, you got some length, you got some talent, you got some guys that have come from other SEC programs. You have Warren Burrell, who, as a true freshman, beat out Alante Taylor. You have Warren Burrell that brings the length. He has now played a lot of football. He has been here. This is his 3rd year on campus. So that sense of urgency for him is at an all-time high. I like Warren Burrell. I'm trying to see where he's listed at as far as his height But he is the type of corner that coaches like now. They like the taller, more rangier guys, so that way these quarterbacks and receivers and offensive coordinators just don't throw up fade routes all day long. They can hold their own. They can play the ball. But Warren Burrell is a 6-foot corner, and that's good height. That's what you want. Also, Warren Burrell looks like he has some long arms, man. Like he can scratch his kneecap standing straight up. And that makes up sometimes for a corner that's not as tall, but Warren Burrell is 6 foot and he has long arms. So physically, he has the tools to play in this conference. Speed might have been a question early on, but I'm sure he got a step quicker, a step faster, and with the experience, got a little smarter, knowing how to take proper angles and knowing when to get out of back pedals and how long to stay in them and all those things. But I'm going to go touchdown too, man.
And call me crazy, but
crazy
after the newness of Jeremy Pruitt wore off, I didn't drool over his defensive back pedigree. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but after that first year and the new flavor of the month expired, like I didn't drool over the defensive back pedigree that Jeremy Pruitt had because I was not seeing it really translate to the field a whole lot. I'm more excited about Willie Martinez than I am Jeremy Pruitt those last 2, 3, second and third season. So I'm excited to see what a guy like Warren Burrell can do under Willie Martinez. And the rest of the DBs.
It's crazy because both coaches are good coaches when it comes to coaching the position, but the way we look at whether a coach is good or not is the production that comes from that player, right? And it's not because that coach doesn't know anything, because Chris Weinke knows everything that you could possibly know about playing the quarterback position at a high level. He's done it, but teaching it in a way where it's not misunderstood, that you're able to inspire your players and have them playing at their top level. That's an art. Knowing the stuff is one thing, but teaching it is another. And Willie Martinez is one of the best teachers because he knows when to use the hammer and he knows when to hug on your neck. And you got to be able to do both. With Pruitt, you got to remember Terry Fair was the DB coach at first, and Pruitt just micromanaged Terry and didn't allow Terry to coach the way that he is coached, and Pruitt just thought he was the best DB coach in the country, in the world, and didn't really instill any confidence in Terry, even though Terry was a first-round DB and played in the NFL and was a heck of a damn teacher. I've seen him with my own 2 eyes. Terry was here teaching Cam Sutton under Willie Martinez. I've seen Terry coach even before he was a coach. So I know he's a good teacher at the position, but you got missed messages from Terry and Pruitt in the same room. So how are you supposed to grow and develop as a DB when you have the head coach sending different messages than the position coach? So it was a mess, and that's why that change was made. But I'm with you, man. I think the environment in the DB room will allow these DBs to really grow, really develop.
That was my next
point. Play with confidence, not be afraid to make a mistake without being held at gunpoint and given a life sentence. You got to be able to make mistakes in practice to know if you can get away with it in the game. Yeah, in practice you're going to see some bombs being thrown over DB's heads. You're going to see some big plays being made. And the media that's going to be there, they're going to question whether that DB is good or not. Well, there's going to be some times when, DB, you can get beat in practice. But how do you know if you can squat or be in your back pedal longer or cheat if you don't try it in practice? If you get burned, you can't make that mistake again. Or if you're a receiver and you go for one hand trying to make a one-hand catch. Well, how do you know if you can make that catch unless you do it in practice? A lot of mistakes are going to be made in practice, and make them then so you don't make them in the games. But, yeah, man, I think the environment's going to be more positive for guys like Warren Burrell. And to answer the question, I think he will be CB1 or CB2, and that position battle is going to be fun. I can't wait to be at practice on Saturday so I can see all of it.
Yeah, just the entire secondary outside of Flowers and McCullough and Alante. You can pencil in those three as 3 of the 5 starters. And yes, there will be 5 defensive backs starting because Tennessee is essentially going to run a 4-2-5 this year. That's what it's going to be. Just because
Tim Banks say you
that? My eyes told me that. My eyes told me that, and college football tells me that. There's just too many receivers that start on the field at the beginning of the game. And not even the beginning of the game, all throughout the game. I mean, you read about other teams, and it's – I was reading about LSU earlier this week, and the beat writers were talking about which receivers are going to start for LSU, and they were listing 4 starters at the receiver position. 2 started during your day most of the time.
I mean, how do you know 4 receivers are going to start when the offensive coordinator don't even know what plays they're going to script in the first game of the season? How do you know that right now?
Well, yeah, and also that is looking at it from the player perspective. From the media perspective, they know that the majority of the time it's going to be a full receiver set. So technically, you're right, and the opening play of the game is they could come out in I don't know.
If you
22 personnel go with 2 backs and 2 tight ends, and then all of a sudden there's 1 receiver on the field, and technically that's the starting lineup.
Yeah, you script your first 10 plays, and you got a few 4 receiver sets in there based on the defense that you watched that week. But you're heavy 3 receivers, you're heavy 2 receivers,
but the majority of the time at LSU, at Mississippi State, Missouri, those teams are going to have 4 receivers on the field. So that's why that's why they're talking about who are the first 4 receivers in the rotation. That's how they're talking about it. And if you play when you play Missouri and they have 4 receivers on the field, you're not going to roll out there in a 3-4 defense, or you're not going to roll out there in a base 3-4, or you're not going to roll out there in a base 4-3. You're going to need 5 DBs on the field,
no doubt.
So that's why I think you're really going to see a 4-2-5 a lot. And I mean, that's how Tennessee's been practicing, even going back to the spring, is you don't see 3 linebackers lined up next to each other like you used to. You see 2 linebackers together. You had a first set, and then a second set rolled in, and then a third set of Morvan Joseph and Aaron Willis rolled in yesterday.
What I'm curious to see is will teams force us to play 3 linebackers to test our linebacker depth? Because personnel groupings can force Tennessee to say, all right, well, we can't play 5 DBs because we need more girth inside the trenches. If there's some type of running advantage for the opponent, remember now, there's some questions about the defensive line, and there's been some questions about linebackers as far as depth. Will teams say, all right, I know offenses right now like to go 4 receiver sets, like to get the ball out in space, but maybe that plays into Tennessee's strengths. Let's force Tennessee to have to play 3 or 4 linebackers, and let me point out the weakness.
Tennessee has more defensive backs lined up. I was about to say Tennessee has more defensive backs that it trusts more than linebackers, but you also have some new DBs.
I think that's a fair statement, though. I think it's true.
Yeah. But you're also encompassing like 2 your safeties and corners, so naturally you're going to have more players that you trust. But there's a lot of newness at the DB position as well. That's a good point because what did we talk about last week? The SEC being run heavy this year
should be
because you're not going to have elite receivers that you're going to go up against. I mean, Georgia has good receivers, but they don't have a receiver like George Pickens, who has a torn ACL, that just scares you, that just terrifies you. I'm trying to think of Tennessee. John Mechie at Alabama. He's the next great receiver at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the only proven guy because they lost so much. Now, it's still a talented room. They'll be just fine. But going into the season, John Mechie's the only one that keeps you up at night. Missouri, they have some nice receivers, but nobody that scares you. Kentucky has Wan'Dale Robinson. That's Wan'Dale Robinson is going to keep Tim Banks up at night the night before because he's a playmaker and can be used so many different ways. But even, as we all know, Kentucky's strength of the offense isn't going to be passing the football. It's going to be running the football. Florida, I don't trust Emory Jones' arm. He's mini Lamar Jackson to me, just not as dynamic with his legs. And even Lamar was a 10 times better passer in college than Emory Jones is. So they're going to rely on their bunch of backs. And like Florida's touting Jacob Copeland as like this bona fide number one receiver to replace Kadarius Toney. And I'm like, come on, Jacob Copeland, you haven't been able to trust him all 4 years that he's been there. And he was a guy who had a bunch of drama in his recruitment. And what do you know? It's played out on the field throughout his career as well. So if you're counting on Jacob Copeland to be your go-to guy, you're going to have issues at that position. So Florida doesn't have a guy that scares me at receiver. Now, I mentioned Georgia already, but like Eric Gilbert, Darnell Washington could give Tennessee problems just because of the sheer size of Darnell and the athleticism of Eric Gilbert. Those could present problems. But my point in saying all that is that it's going to be run heavy. So if Tennessee is best suited for a 4-2-5 because it has more DBs that it trusts than having 4 linebackers on the field, 3 linebackers on the field, then it could present some problems. The personnel in the SEC this year doesn't seem like it matches well with Tennessee's best defensive personnel.
Yeah, we'll see how that stuff plays out, man. We'll see how it plays out for sure. Totally off the subject. Huh?
What?
What'd you say? No, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
The Yankees.
Hell no! Ain't talking about the Yankees.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Yankees. I'm sorry.
No, man, completely off topic. You been seeing these Trey Smith video clips?
Yes, and you know who I think of every time I see a Trey Smith video?
Your coworker?
Yep, Mike Farrell.
Hey, man. Trey Smith is out here manhandling starters. Got Jaren Reed, who's played in the league, who was a first-round pick of the Seattle Seahawks. You know, Chris Jones, starter in this league. Trey Smith is making these dudes look like walk-ons. I mean, man-handling NFL vets. Every time I open up Twitter, I see a new Trey Smith video clip.
Or a video clip or a comment from somebody that covers the Chiefs.
Love it.
And the funny ones are the ones, who could have seen this coming? Did you watch any Trey Smith film?
Everybody, actually.
Everybody. The only reason Trey Smith fell to, what was it, the 6th round? Mm-hmm. Was because of his medical issues. And teams didn't know whether he could practice.
Yeah, his history. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't ability or tape. I mean,
it wasn't even current medical issues. It was medical history. It was issues that happened in the past. The question marks surrounding, the history. Because it's not present. Definitely ain't present seeing the way he's out there putting his hands on people, man. Goodness gracious. Fun to see. So happy for him. Yeah, me too, man.
Because I didn't know if he'd be able to make it just because I didn't know if he'd be able to participate with a practice schedule. Like in college at Tennessee, you can get away with maybe not practicing as much as Trey Smith did. But in the NFL, especially at a developmental position, physical position, you have to practice every day. And I was worried that he wasn't going to be able to.
That's the best place for him. Mm-hmm. Kansas City.
It'd be cool to watch him protecting for Patrick Mahomes. And what's even better, we'll finally get somebody on Sunday Night Football that says Trey Smith, Tennessee.
I don't know, man. He might say it's high school. Nah, he gonna say Tennessee. You already know that. Swain Event, be right back.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work from anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live here from the Low T Center studio. Our telephone number is 865-255-03, Iris Networks hotline. 90 days, no payment for business internet. A conversation that seems to be going on right now from the first day of practice is the velocity of Joe Milton's throws. And from a receiver standpoint, what does that mean? What do you prefer? Checking out the text box this morning, it seems like that was one of the questions there. I don't have it pulled up, Ben. You have the text box pulled up right now. So I want to give credit where credit's due on whoever brought that up.
It was Swain. Somebody said Swain ain't right this morning. Swain ain't never right. That's what Kentucky Vol said.
You must be talking about my description of my knee brace. My knee brace scene, which was the same scene from Main Talks, Phase on Love.
Rodney said, I never wore a knee brace for my meniscus, and I definitely did get chosen. I don't know.
You need a knee brace, Rodney.
It's just funny to talk about. Swain, okay, East Cobb Vol, a.k.a. Patrick. Swain, as a receiver, I'd like to hear your comments about mustard passes.
Yeah. So I never complained about a ball being thrown too hard because I feel like I'll catch it anyways. Now, you have to know what type of receiver you have. Some receivers, man, you got to know you can't throw a hard ball to. Maybe their hands are not as reliable as others. They got good hands, but that chemistry is something that you got to work on. Now think about this. Receivers catch the ball in the jugs every day. And if you are anything like me, you would turn that thing up to 70, 80 miles per hour, shooting off the jugs. You would catch it, walk up, catch it, walk up, catch it, walk up. And you walk up all the way to the jug machine to where you're basically less than 3 yards away from the jug machine. And you would kind of stand to the side, and when the ball is shot, as soon as it hit your hands, you squeeze and you catch the ball. So you mean tell me that receivers practice on the jug machine all spring, all summer, catching the ball at 80 miles per hour, but Joe Milton throwing too hard? There's going to be some times when you're running a hitch route, you're running a 5-yard route where you're sitting it down right in front of the quarterback, anything 10 in or 5 and in or 7 and in. Yeah, you don't want to knock the dude over, but there's going to be some times when you got to throw the ball hard. And preferably, I want my quarterback to throw it hard. Why? Because if the ball's getting there on time and it's getting there quick, fast, and in a hurry, I know that when I catch the football, I'm going to have some cushion. I'm going to have a chance to make somebody miss after the catch. Slant routes, when you're throwing in traffic, you got to throw that thing hard. I'm not saying that every pass should be hard and Joe Milton shouldn't exercise, taking a little bit of the mustard off of some passes. I'm not saying that at all, because there's going to be some passes that he's going to have to do that. But that comes with practice. There's no reason to draw a conclusion from the first day of practice about Joe Milton throwing the football too hard. Now, if he doesn't adjust and it becomes an issue, okay, that's another conversation. But it's the first day of practice. He can always take it off. Or the receivers can get used to it. Because CJ Leak, that boy throw the ball hard. To this day, he has quarterback weight room records. It may not be posted in the weight room because Jay Long took the board, but to this day, CJ Leak has records for quarterback weight lifted. Bench, I think he was like 400 and something. CJ Leak was built like a linebacker and would throw the ball and knock you down if you wasn't ready for it. But I'd never complain about CJ Leak throwing the football because you catch the ball in jugs and they come out faster on the jugs. There's certain plays. There's certain throws where you don't have to throw it hard. The 2004 touchdown that I had against Florida before Will Hoyt missed the extra point and went on to kick the field goal. that was a throw by Ainge that didn't need to be hard. You had to throw that one soft. But there's some other throws where you're in a little bit of traffic and you want to zip that ball in there. And that's why it's great to have a quarterback that has the physical ability to be able to do that. So Joe Milton figured it out. This is the first practice with new receivers, and I don't care about him throwing in the summer. That's different than practice. It's different. He'll adjust. But my preference, give me the quarterback that throws the piss out of the ball.
Give me the quarterback that knows when to throw the piss out of the ball and when to put a little touch on it.
Because if I come out of my breaks and the quarterback throwing some weak, soft ball, as soon as I catch it, I'm being tackled. I don't want that.
Yes. Now, here's the thing about that, though. We didn't see those type of passes yesterday. We saw basic 5-yard slants, 5-yard digs.
The digs, you got to take something off of it. The slants, you can put more on it.
Why do you have to take some off on the digs?
Because on the slants, you're going kind of more vertical.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 45-degree cut, but you're going upfield. The digs, it's a 90-degree cut, and you're going horizontal. And so you want to make sure you don't throw the ball too hard, throw it upfield.
Mm-hmm.
Receiver is literally pushing up 5 yards and bursting, stopping, and changing directions in a totally different direction. So he's basically going north to west. Whereas a slant, he's going north to northwest.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's just basically putting one foot in the ground and sticking it, and his speed is not really changing much. So you can throw it on him, lead him a little bit, and put it on him real fast, and he doesn't really have to break his stride. A dig, most receivers are going to break that stride. So you have to take a little bit off of it, because if not, you're going to throw it too far in front of him. So that's why the pass has to be a little bit softer on dig routes, especially on the short dig routes. Because on the short dig routes, that window is the first window. Now, when you have a dig route at 15 yards, there's a chance that that ball is going to be thrown harder, because that receiver can go from the first window to the second window to the third window. And if he's at the second or third window, he's at top speed. Well, he can be top speed if it's man-to-man. But he's already gathered himself out of the break, and he's running flat down that line. So now you can throw harder, because now that receiver isn't necessarily changing directions at that point. He's running straight. So it just depends. And it's so many small things about route running and throwing the ball to a receiver, depending on what route it is, that it just depends on the situation. It depends on the route that's called. It depends on the coverage, on whether or not you throw the ball hard or whether you throw it soft. And it takes time to learn how, if a receiver can do it, what throws and what route that you can throw hard, which routes you can't. And to draw a conclusion on the first day of practice, it's just asinine, and it's crazy, and it's silly. But
it's something to observe. It's not something to definitively put on the young man.
Yeah, because you can always take a little bit off, man. Because Ainge could throw the ball as hard as all get out. And I remember I dislocated my finger on one of his throws. But like it wasn't his fault. I remember we was preparing for Memphis. It was a Thursday practice, and we was in the red zone, and it probably was a 10-yard throw, and he threw it hard. Well, guess what? In the games, in the red zone, the windows are tighter, so you gotta throw it hard. And he threw it hard, and man, it hit my thumb. Woo! I didn't dislocate it, but it hurt.
You thought you dislocated it before you looked at it?
it hurt because the point hit it. The point hit it. And, man, it was hurting. And it was hurting Saturday. So I had it taped up, and it was bothering me for, a game or two. But it wasn't the quarterback's fault. Just sometimes it just happens like that. If you ever want to see a receiver that's been through it catching the football, go Google Torrey Holt fingers.
Ugh, no.
You seen that?
Yes. I don't ever want to see it again.
You can't count on one hand how many Torrey Holt passes he has dropped his entire career. He don't drop passes.
Makes me cringe.
But go Google a picture of Torrey Holt's fingers. He was on that Rams championship team. He's a Hall of Fame receiver. If he's not in it, he should be. It did take Isaac Bruce a little bit to get in, but Torrey Holt is Hall of Fame worthy. But go and Google his fingers. If you ever seen Booger McFarland's fingers, that's another one too. But Booger played in the trenches.
I don't care.
But go look at Torrey Holt's. Go look at Torrey Holt's finger. Throwing up gang signs.
Boogers are prettier than Booger's fingers. I'd rather look at an actual booger than Booger's fingers. I mean, that's how nasty his fingers are. Real quick before we get to Foxfall, I have a PSA.
All right.
Can we stop making fun of Tennessee players before they have played a snap at Tennessee? Joe Milton has played one practice. Hasn't even played a game. Hasn't gone through a scrimmage. He's been through one practice after coming from Jim Harbaugh's dreadful offense that kills quarterbacks. Can we not take to social media to make fun of him so that you can get your retweets and likes and get your followers up? Can we not do that? Because this is why players feel alienated. We can make fun of Brian Maurer saying it was his team. I would advise against saying that. But the reason he says those type of things are because people take shots at him continually. And players like him, players take shots at fans, have their slick little comments on Twitter, and talk about them being together and it's us against the world because fans take shots at the players. And Joe Milton has been through one practice. One practice. So can we hold off on the jokes so that you can get your retweets and likes? Can we hold off on that until he at least does it against Florida or somebody like that?
The great thing about the start of football season is that it's the start of football season. The great thing about the start of football season is that you get practices and shorts. Every little thing is like magnified way more than it should be. Like it's blown out of proportion. Like I remember Harrison Bailey's first day of practice. It's like, oh, look at that throw. It's like, yo, it's a 5-yard slant. Like, relax. It was the first day of practice. No one's guarding them. It's a 5-yard slant. Chill. I think first day of practice, it gets blown way out of proportion because, everyone wants to analyze. Everyone wants to break it down. And it's like, there's really no need for that. Wait till they put on pads. Let's start seeing a trend. Wait for the trend.
Yes. Wait till he throws 2 pick sixes against Kentucky before taking to social media. He has barely lived in Knoxville, Tennessee, and it may be 1 or 2 comments, but they see that and they begin to form this me against the fans type of mindset, and we don't want that. We do not want that. If we want to make fun of Jameis Winston for not being able to run through the running back dummies, that's one thing. That's one thing. Man. But Milton went through one practice. One practice. Yeah, and he just got to Knoxville. Let's not alienate him. Yeah, you may not think it does, but it 1,000% does.
Yeah, if you want to jump to conclusions on one practice, go Google like the opponent first day of practice. Go Google their videos. Go Twitter search their videos and throw shade at them. Don't do it to our own. Not unless there's a trend of bad play. Like,
what's so annoying is it's only being done so you can get retweets and likes.
That's the most. Let's go to the phones. All right, Fox Vol is in the building via the Irish Networks hotline. Fox Vol, good morning.
Good morning. And for the record, I wasn't making fun of anybody except for Ben salivating all over Alex Rodriguez.
I don't like Alex Rodriguez.
Man, you have like a plush Alex Rodriguez stuffed doll. Yeah, I know. I mean, I know how you guys are. All you Yankee fans are the same.
Well, when I helped Ben move to his apartment a couple years ago, there was a box, and it was marked "Do not open." It had all these locks and chains on it, and it might be his A-Rod shrine. I mean, it might be that's A-Rod stuff in there.
Exactly what it is.
Yep.
Foxfall, who are you a fan of? I'm curious.
Who am I a fan of? I'm a Braves fan.
Okay. I like the Braves. So
you won't hear me in a place like Tennessee salivating all over New York Yankees.
That's fine. When you grow up in the military and live in New York for 4 years, you can start salivating over the Yankees as well.
Everybody's got
blame
an
the
excuse,
military.
Man.
The military.
Everybody's got an excuse. You know, you're the typical what they call a bandwagon person, right?
I'm a Tennessee fan. How am I a bandwagon fan?
Well,
I'm a Tennessee fan.
Are you a Tennessee fan, or are you an Auburn fan, or are you?
Depends on the day.
Are you a Vanderbilt fan? Who knows?
Depends on the day.
It's like the second coming of Kenny Chesney.
I'm glad you're demonstrating what Tennessee fans do best, and that's eat their own and kill their own.
You mean present facts? I got you.
No, kill their own. No, nobody kills their own better than Tennessee fans, and you are a prime example of that right now.
See, that's typical of a Yankee fan too, though, because you can't handle a little sparring, a little innocent jabs, man.
See, I can handle sparring. Do you not listen to me and DR Vol and Volsor? You're like the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th person on the list to call in over the last 4 years and go back and forth. So I can handle some sparring.
I do remember Fox Vols' last call. He didn't really mention anything about the Yankees when the Yankees won.
Well, they did.
You know
last
why?
night too.
You know why?
What?
You know why, Swain?
What's that?
I'll tell you a little secret. Because nobody cares.
You do.
Nobody cares.
You do.
You brought it up.
You can't.
You brought it up.
You care, Fox Ball. All right, stop the Yankees talk. No more Yankees talk. No more Yankees talk. No more Yankees talk.
You brought it up today.
You're right. I'm just
and 2 days ago.
All right, we done with that.
All right. We'll get back on track. No, I was going to ask you too. You were talking about what you used to do to train to be a receiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I remember. I think you mentioned it a few years ago. Was it Trooper that brought in rice or something?
Yeah, rice buckets. We had to during the meetings, everybody had to go and get the battery from the bottom of the rice bucket. So there was 5-gallon jugs or gallon jugs, and then he would fill it up with rice, put a battery at the bottom, and then while we were in meetings, everyone had to go and get the battery. And all that did was help strengthen your hands. There's a lot of times when the ball's thrown and you have the DB slapping at your arms, and they slap the ball out. You catch it, and the DB slapped the ball out. Well, if you got strong hands, you're not going to allow that to happen. And it helps with holding on to the ball so you don't fumble after a catch and you get ready to run up field. So that's why we did it. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like when you look at when you played and everything and the techniques that you used, you're always talking about, and it sounds like everybody else is too, how good your hands were. Do you feel like stuff like that helped you with just your catch radius? And do you hear of teams nowadays using the same techniques? And is that something that maybe they should bring back if they don't?
I mean, I've seen other teams, other receiver coaches do it. Sometimes it's a part of the weight workout, but we had to do it every day in the receiving room. I mean, we literally had buckets of rice in our receiver meeting room along the wall, and everyone had to go get the battery once a day in practice, every single day. And it's that whole thing of getting 1% better each and every day. You do something over a long period of time, and it may be small. Before you know it, doing it for 30 days, you wake up, you're like, oh my God, man, my hands are stronger, man. My forearms are stronger, and you're just snatching the football out of the air, and DBs just don't have a chance, or you can make some moves, and you're securing the football with some great ball security. So yeah, I would imagine other teams are doing it. I don't think Trooper invented it. Everyone steals techniques from each other. Everything is recycled over time. So yeah, I think other people are doing it. I don't see it But I would be crazy to think that it doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, you just wonder, though. I mean, if that's kind of a theme, if receivers are complaining because, not to say that they are, but if they're dropping passes because the ball is being thrown too hard, you got to kind of wonder, like, how much are they really working on things like that? They might be. I'm not obviously in those rooms. But, it just kind of had me thinking, wondering stuff like that. And, when are you going to the hill? I mean, when's Swain going to be a receiver coach?
Nah, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah,
that ain't
I'm
going
just
to
saying.
happen. I ain't recruiting in this day and age. No, thank you. I want no part of it.
So when are you going to be a receiver coach in the NFL?
I ain't going to be a receiver
There
coach.
you go, man. See? There you go.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be
You could be better than Derek Dewey.
I missed my window, man. I missed my window in 2008, 2007. I missed my window, so it ain't gonna.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here and give somebody else a chance to hopefully give Ben a hard time. So we'll see you guys later.
Bring up the Yankees, but then say who cares about the Yankees,
and blame me for bringing them up.
Oh man, appreciate the phone call there, Foxball. I mean, there's gonna be times when you watch film and most of the time a receiver coach is gonna be like, hey man, you should have called it. The times when the receiver coach is like, yeah, you probably should have took a little bit off of it, will be your short throws where it's high and too hard. Then you kind of look at the quarterback and go, all right, you got to take a little bit off of it right there. But a receiver's mentality is, man, there's not a ball too hard. You catch the ball in jugs. You pump it up to 80 miles per hour. You're catching it 3 yards away. Like, catch everything. Let's go. You don't make excuses. Ball's thrown too hard. No, you just catch it. And you let the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator talk to the quarterback about, all right, when to take things off. What throws do you want to make sure that you don't knock the receiver down with? But from a receiver's point of view, man, you better be happy the ball coming your way. You better catch it because you might only get one opportunity in a game.
Make the most of it.
You better make the most of it. Swain Event, be right back.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. I'm excited to share my new Keller Williams Realty app so you can tour homes without leaving yours. Not only can you search for homes in specific areas and neighborhoods, you can also have access to real-time market snapshots on stats like average home price and days on market, plus commute times from your office, school zones, and much more. Download my app today and get the most accurate information on buying, selling, and investing in real estate in your area. Just search for the Keller Williams Realty app and click on More in the lower right-hand corner. Type in Jennifer Morris in the Your Agent search bar, then save and you're set. And as always, feel free to reach out at 865-257-7897 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy. If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit, you get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what? We got For What's on tap. I'm going to Florida for my For What. This happened a couple days ago, but did not mention it. In Melbourne, Florida, a smelly situation in Central Florida after a crash involving a tractor trailer and a dump truck left cow manure all over a portion of Interstate 95. The Florida Highway Patrol said in a tweet a couple weeks ago. This happened about 2 weeks ago. But Florida Patrol said in a tweet that northbound lanes near mile marker 198 happened. Traffic was diverted until the manure was cleaned up. No one was injured in the crash, but it was literally poop everywhere. That is a big time For What. You got to be super careful when you're hauling that type of stuff around. Just poop everywhere. When you drive to Chattanooga, there's always that paper plant right before you hit Chattanooga, right before you hit Cleveland. Mm-hmm. It's the worst smell ever. Worst smell ever.
I experienced the worst smell ever yesterday.
Oh, I know, right? I know. That was rough. But yeah, this is definitely a For What here. Poopy situation, smelly situation on I-95 in Florida. Big old dump truck of cow manure all over I-95. All right, what you got?
I am giving 2 Oregon defensive backs a For What, because they have been charged after 3 people reported them being shot with an airsoft gun.
When did this happen?
I don't know. I assume Tuesday night. That's when it happened. Oregon defensive backs Jamal Hill and DJ James faced charges stemming from incidents Tuesday night where 3 people reported being shot at with an airsoft gun. Eugene police said a man reported being shot in the face with a realistic-looking airsoft gun by someone in a passing car. 2 other people, including one riding an electric scooter, reported similar incidents in the same time span and area. Police identified the occupants of the vehicle as Hill and James, who cooperated with officers. They both faced 3 counts each of reckless endangering, assault, unlawful discharge of a firearm, and disorderly conduct. Mario Cristobal said, "We have high standards and expectations for the student athletes in our program. We were made aware of the situation and are in process of gathering all of the related information, after which we will take appropriate action." Hill is a sophomore safety from Georgia, had 2 interceptions and 6 pass deflections and 20 tackles last year when he was an all Pac-12 honorable mention by the league's coaches. James, a sophomore corner from Mobile, Alabama.
That explains it.
Mobile, Alabama. Appeared in all 7 games for Oregon last season and had 14 tackles. Both are expected to be part of the rotation in the secondary this season when Oregon opens up September 4th at home against Fresno State. Why are you shooting people with airsoft guns?
This happened too close to the start of the football season, too close to fall camp. This is something that, I would see happening like earlier in the summer or even during the spring when, you don't have games, you got more free time. But these guys really don't understand like the dangers they put themselves in when they think having an airsoft gun is like fun and funny. Because you may know it's fake, but the person that you're shooting may not know that.
And what if they...
And they may pull out that real heat.
Correct.
they may pull out that real heat. Or someone else who may have a carrying permit or live in a state where you don't have to have one, say, oh, I'm about to do my civic duty. I'm going to be a hero and stop this person from shooting that person and not know that you have an airsoft gun. It's just really stupid. You're not thinking about the potential outcomes when you are playing around with the airsoft gun, and it can end in you losing your life. Now, I'll be lying if I didn't say that I went through this as a teammate. We had somebody that kind of did the same thing, got himself suspended. Wasn't kicked off, but got himself suspended for a good amount of time, and it was not fun. It was a scary situation, but those guys probably thought it was funny and cool at the time, but it's not. It is probably one of the dumbest things you can do. Go around having a fake gun in this day and age.
Yep.
Because everybody's strapped. Not smart at all. Not smart at all. So that is a great for what. Definitely better than my for what. My for what smelled. Yours was good. Yours are good right there, man. That was a good one. Good for what. But you should have known somebody from Mobile, Alabama.
And Georgia. You got Mobile, Alabama, and somebody from Georgia coming together.
They get in trouble like they belong in the SEC.
Mario Cristobal.
I mean, he did.
He's got SEC roots.
He did come from Alabama.
SEC. Maybe Oregon will be the next team to join the SEC. SEC.
We definitely don't want that.
I do, so I can selfishly take trips out to Oregon. It's beautiful out there.
We do not want that.
Why?
We don't want Phil Knight to have all the firepower.
Phil Knight's not even going to involve his football players in his money anyways.
Man, no. Keep Oregon away from the SEC. Swain Event. Be right back. The Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
All right, going to the text box. Yeah, Donovan in Kentucky was like, can we do it for what on Dennis Schroeder?
What'd he do?
Well, early in the season, in the NBA season, he turned down a 4-year, $80 million extension because he wanted to get the max deal. He wanted to be, paid over $100, and now he's putting himself in a position where he hasn't got a deal yet.
Dennis Schroeder's overrated.
Yeah, if you're talking about paying him
that much
over
money.
$100 million, but
Yes. I don't think he's a bad player, but he's not worth $100 million to me. He needs. We need to report a crime if he gets $100 million because he robbed the team.
That baseball money, that basketball money is just different, man. Steph Curry signed a 4-year, $215 million contract, worth every penny. He's worth every penny. The basketball money is ridiculous.
And it doesn't really make sense because it supposedly comes from the TV contract, but like their ratings aren't good. How does it? I guess ESPN overpaid. I don't know if that makes sense. But that's Steph Curry's second $200 million contract.
Mm-hmm.
He got the bag.
Mm-hmm. He deserves the bag.
He does. He's worth every. He's gonna make $53 million a year. golly, on top of the money that he's already made.
Endorsements, Under Armour basically turned his shoe into like the Jordan signature shoe on Under Armour.
They are his own brand. Yep. He is their basketball guy.
Yeah, he is the Michael Jordan of Under Armour.
Yes.
They changed his logo, just like Jumpman had his own logo under Nike. That's what they did with Steph Curry under.
I don't like the Currys though. I wish they were more appealing to the eye. I'll tell you who
they
has
look comfortable though.
Really? Have they even tried?
They look real comfortable.
They look real comfortable. I'll tell you, Under Armour's really stepped it up with like that type of stuff. Getting particular people to brand them in baseball. For the longest time, it was Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper still does, but Bryce Harper was the face of their baseball stuff. But The Rock.
Oh, you love The Rock.
I love The Rock's apparel line. Yeah. I have a bunch of his T-shirts because like his little. I'm very much a quote person, and like a mindset person, and he is that same way and puts it on T-shirts, and the T-shirts are super soft and comfortable. So it's like a perfect marriage for me. So I have so many Rock shirts, but his shoes are also really comfortable as well. They're expensive, but really comfortable. Under Armour stepped it up in the apparel line. So as Adidas as well. It used to kind of only be Nike, but now all of these other companies. I mean, heck, even the Reebok and Pumas and smaller ones are coming out with some new fire stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Crocs and everything.
I'm good on Under Armour apparel, but they do got some pretty cool stuff. Just not my cup of tea.
They have good golf stuff. That's why I like them.
All right, let's go to the phones, and then we'll hit this text box up because it's got some good stuff on it today, like every day. But let's see here, 865-255-03.
We've got Dave Tona.
Dave Tona, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up, Dave Tona?
Other day in paradise, just doing a little moving.
Where are you moving to?
South Daytona.
Nice.
Ben can help you. Y'all can help each other move.
What you said?
I said y'all can help each other move. You and Ben.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to do this with a couple broken ribs.
No, you tough. Ben. You can do it.
Yeah, you're a Yenzer.
You're tough.
You're built for that.
Yeah, you're tough, Dave Tony. You got it, man.
It's who you are.
I got it. Hey, Ben.
Yes.
Do you want to sing the good people a little song?
No, I've already got people mad at me about the Yankees, even though I'm not the one that brings up the Yankees. I don't want people mad at me for bringing up the Steelers either.
I think we should sing them a little song.
Okay, I'm down. Here we go, Steelers.
Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Yes, sir. Game day, baby. Game day. And Tennessee fans should be excited about the Steelers playing tonight because Josh Dobbs is playing in the second half.
That's right.
After Dwayne Haskins and Mason Rudolph.
That's right. Well, I didn't just call because it's the Steelers. I mean, we do have Tennessee players on the team, and I was just calling to wish them good luck in the game.
Best call of the day, Dave Tona.
Thank you, sir. Talk to you guys later. Swain, I'll still get up with you. I just haven't had a chance.
All right, man. Just give me a call right after the show if you wanna wrap up. The day's a little bit slower today, so last couple days have been crazy. But yeah, give me a shout. Appreciate the phone call, Dave Tona.
Get to watch Cam Sutton too.
Oh, I love watching the Tennessee players do their thing.
What's it like watching the Bears then?
Yeah, man.
CP still a Bear?
Nope.
Who's he with now? Who is he with? Are you sure?
I'm sure. Because he was not happy about
Falcons. That's right.
That's right. Yeah, not coming back. So CP is in the A.
In the A. Where it all started for him when he first burst onto the scene against NC State.
He didn't know the play and still scored a touchdown?
Yeah.
Just run. Just go. Just go.
First thing that comes up when you Google CP is Falcons camp highlights. Running back Cordell Patterson shows off speed.
He's special, man. Always been special. He is truly unique, and hey, that's where those special return guys go towards the end of their career. They go to the Falcons. That's what Devin Hester did.
Mm-hmm.
Nelson says David Johnson said something that always stuck in my head. There are no bad balls, just great receivers. And that's the mentality you got to have as a wide receiver. That's the mentality you always got to have is there's no bad balls, just catch it. And your quarterback will always appreciate that, and you will get extra passes your way because they will trust you. It always comes back to the word trust.
Speaking of quarterbacks and receivers, in speaking to Hendon Hooker the other day.
Your most consistent quarterback of fall camp?
Mm-hmm. Through day one. My predicted
most consistent quarterback.
I think he will prove to be the most consistent. I may be wrong, and if I am, I'll bite the bullet on it.
Ben's going to be hard for the most consistent quarterback not to be the starter.
I know. He was also the most consistent during spring practice, so we'll see. I'm not calling him to be the starting quarterback because who knows? Somebody may outplay him. But I think, as of right now, he'll prove to be the most consistent. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Whatever. At least I'm up here giving opinions, unlike the rest of the Knoxville media, because they're scared of things being thrown back in their face. Hey, I'm not scared.
Hey, I said Joe Milton was going to be started 2 months ago. So we both gave some takes that could be wrong.
Yours was stronger than mine.
Oh, it was very strong.
You're over here making fun of my take.
No,
after day one. Well, I also think it's funny that you're saying this after day one when I had the same opinion about spring practice. So I'm encompassing spring practice and day one.
I mean, being the most consistent quarterback spring practice is like being the tallest short person.
Would you rather be the most consistent person in spring practice or the least consistent person in spring practice?
I don't think it really matters.
Doesn't matter.
Spring practice.
Brian Maurer wasn't consistent, and now he barely even gets reps in
and
practice.
Brian Mauer's getting more. And Brian Mauer's getting more starting reps than Harrison Bailey in spring practice. What does that mean? Nothing.
And now look at him. He didn't take advantage of it, and now look at him. He ain't doing nothing.
No, Harrison. No, you missed it. Brian Mauer's getting more first team reps than Harrison Bailey in the spring, and now he's not getting those reps. He was like fourth according to you. So. What he did in the spring, it didn't matter.
It did matter because if he would have been impressive in spring, he would have been fourth right now.
But Ben, he was better than Harrison Bailey in the spring. Who had the most walk-on? Who rep with the walk-ons the most at quarterback in the spring? Brian Maurer or Harrison Bailey?
Coaching staff said that had nothing to do with it.
What did you see?
Austin Price also said it had nothing to do with it, like legitimately.
Whatever.
Them's the facts.
All right.
Fam.
All right. Whatever.
But anyways, Hendon Hooker.
I know what I saw.
I know what the coaches said.
I know what I saw.
I know what the coaches said behind the scenes, as they did publicly as well.
Mm-hmm. Whatever.
Jason from the Burrell said no practice today. There is, but I'm doing the show, so I can't be at practice. But I wanted to bring up
big time, man.
The story that Hendon Hooker said about the other day when he met with the media. I don't remember how it got brought up, but he was talking about Velus Jones, and I don't know. Or no, I think somebody asked Hendon if his teammates let him know how fast the tempo was, or like how it was at Tennessee before he actually got here, when he was still like moving and whatnot. And he said that he reached out to Velus and was like asking him questions, and Velus was like, "I have a room open. You want a room with me?" And Hendon took that offer up. Coincidence? I think not. Hendon strategically moving in with Tennessee's number one receiver. Coincidence? I think not.
That's smart. That's how you do it right there. That's how you do it. That's the move to make right there. I know exactly what that move is all about.
You know who else he rooms with?
Who's that?
One of the Jimmys. It was either Jimmy Holiday or Jimmy Callaway. It was another receiver as well. I think it was Callaway. I don't know.
Man, that's perfect. I would want my quarterback rooming with the receivers or offensive lineman. That's what I would want for sure. 865-255-03. Who's that? Who we got?
Rev.
Rev, good morning, Rev.
Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Where you been, man?
Shoot, man, been working, man, trying to make this money.
You can work and call in.
My schedule's so out of whack right now, man. I don't, I'd be lucky to catch a podcast at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, well, I appreciate you at least doing that.
Oh, man, I enjoy the show more than their show in Knoxville. You know that.
My man. Okay.
Hey, man, are you sure they didn't just go in numerical order yesterday with the quarterbacks?
That's the rumor out there.
Because from the videos that I tried watching, and I don't know what I'm looking at half the time, so I ain't gonna make no prediction or anything. But to me, it looked like they went in numerical order. 5, 7, 15, 18, like.
Yeah, they legitimately did go in numerical order, and that is the rumor and thought process that the coaches did it in numerical order. So maybe so, but it's quite the coincidence if it also matches.
Oh yeah.
The actual order.
What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, thank you for going into detail on the whole fastball that Milton throws there, Swain, and going through the wide receiver's hands. I was also thinking back on one of those guys' comments about David Johnson. There's no such thing as a bad ball, just great receivers find a way. And I understand they're missing it right now, because they're not used to the velocity he's throwing it. But if it's in the next week and it's still going through your hands, you can put a little bit of work on the jugs.
Yeah. I mean, it's just really hard to know who gets to blame sometimes for a ball hitting the ground. It can be a number of things. So, the thing about the quarterbacks, they always get too much blame and they get too much credit, and that rings true, and it will until the end of time. And I just think it's way too early to jump to conclusions about the velocity of passes thrown by a quarterback because first day is the first day. I mean, Ben said it wasn't a lot of balls on the ground, but first day usually is the day where it's the most balls on the ground. It can still be the day with the most. Doesn't mean it has to be a lot because everyone's getting used to each other. You're gonna have mistakes. That's why you practice. So you're not gonna be ready to play a game, this week, and that's okay.
I want to make a comment about Texas and Oklahoma joining. I was
Please do.
watching a whole lot of media last week or week before last reporting that Texas is going to be the upper echelon of the SEC like day one, and I just don't see that, Swain. The way I see it is Texas suffers from the same issue Tennessee's been suffering for the last 15, 16 years, and that's booster control. Too many boosters got a stranglehold in that program to actually let it succeed, in my opinion, any further than what it already has.
I agree.
And I'm hoping with our program that Danny White has actually set these little kids down in a room, slap their wrist, saying, "Hey, we ain't gonna do this no more."
Yeah, I mean, I wish it was that easy.
I know.
Because at the end of the day, Danny White works for them in a way, right? And needs them, but
in a way,
yeah. But they also have been a part of the issue. So how do you finesse that situation? It's like, hey, man, like this is why I think Danny White was like, hey, we need more people with more skin in the game. So that way you don't have to rely on just a few, because those few, if you continue to call them and rely on them, they're going to want to have more say. And half the time their say is wrong. Look at our coaching situation. I think the thing that you mentioned about Texas and Tennessee is true. Texas is worse. Like their situation is even worse. And when you're a program like Tennessee or Texas or any big time program with a ton of resources, the only reason you're not successful is because you have not allowed yourself to be successful. It's always internal. And Tennessee is figuring it out. And hopefully we can move past that, and you get more guys on the same page and understand that the way we did it before, when you had all these power struggles, internally, it only hurts Tennessee. At the end of the day, it's best for everybody to be on the same page. Alabama figured that out before they hired Nick Saban, and look at everything now. The thing is lost about Bama is, Nick Saban's a great coach, But I think the thing that gets lost in translation is, man, the culture that they set from a leadership standpoint, even before Nick Saban got there, and to attract Nick Saban. They attracted him somehow, and I think it was because leadership coming together and being on the same page. And that seems like what we're doing now, but it has to continue if we're going to compete against those other teams in the conference, and now 2 other teams that's joining the conference too. So you're right, Rev. You're right, man.
Anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to get home. I've been gone for a couple of days, so I'm going to get home, enjoy the family time. Love the show. Love you guys, man. Have a great day.
Love you too, my man. Rev's going to pull a scene from Bad Boys. Hey, call the wife. Tell her I'm coming home. I'm on the way. When Martin got shot in the butt. I am on the way. Who's next?
Volstorm.
Volstorm, good morning, man.
We heard anything about starting quarterback yet?
Yep, Hendon Hooker was the most consistent yesterday. That's all we got.
Oh, goodness.
I'm glad you didn't ask about Arbor Solomon. Take a wild guess what unit he was running with yesterday.
Walk on.
A step above.
And threes.
He was running with the threes.
I mean, in some cases, the threes may include some walk-ons.
I know. Seems like every time we invest time and energy into a player, they end up being a bust. J.J. Peterson, Aubrey Solomon, Jarrett Garantano.
Maybe we should stop doing that.
Probably. Guys, I haven't watched any videos. I haven't looked at any photos or anything like that because they're not in pads yet. I don't care.
I'm right there with you. I can't say I don't care, but I just
maybe that's an exaggeration.
No, you can say that. You can say that. I can't say that in covering the team. I mean, come on now.
Right.
Who wants to listen to a bunch of people talk about they don't care when you cover the team? But I do care. I just don't put a lot of stock in days like yesterday or even days like today. And I would say the same thing even if I was at practice. I'm not over here bitter because they got practice and we go over doing the show. I'm saying it because I've been through this many times covering this team, and I've been part of it as a player where, man, guys really look good in shorts, and they don't even wear shorts anymore. They got just spandex on, so they even more comfortable. Football
looking like the dance team.
Yeah, man, football is played in uncomfortable pads, uncomfortable knee pads, but they got it made. I mean, the only thing they got to wear that's uncomfortable is a helmet, but they in spandex and T-shirts out there.
You also got to remember, though, there's people like watching this stuff because it's Tennessee football, and football season is here. So it's one thing to be excited to see the photos, watch just the players do football things. There's a difference between being excited for that and then also drawing conclusions based off of not being in pads and it being the first day.
I saw a tweet from Volstorm. Volstorm is excited right now, but he is. But you are cautiously optimistic, and also you need to see it in pads, and both can be true. We know that football is played in pads, and there's going to be some guys that step up and look good today, and there's be some guys, those same guys, some of them may wither away here in another week when the pads are put on. And so that's kind of how it happens, and that's why I just kind of warn people, don't get your hopes up just for one day or 2 days when they're not even in full pads. You just want to help people not be disappointed when they see a player, show out the first day or 2, 3, and then they disappear. Like, oh, what happened? I'm disappointed. Well, you should have realistic expectations.
Right.
That's all.
Right. And as far as the quarterbacks go, because that's going to be the topic of conversation throughout all fall camp. Having a big arm is nice, but as we've learned from our previous starter, it's even better to have some touch on the ball, especially on those short and intermediate routes.
Yeah, you better have some anticipation. Yeah, I honestly, I don't have a problem with JG's velocity. I had a problem with his anticipation and timing. You can't be late and throw it hard. I mean,
yes.
give it to me early, and I want you to throw it hard because I want the ball to get there quick, fast, in a hurry so I can have 2-3 yards of separation so I can make a guy miss after the catch and get some yak. So,
I mean, how many times have you seen a swing pass where the quarterback will throw it late and he throws it hard and ends up being behind him, and then the other team picks it up, runs in for a touchdown.
That's where the perception that JG threw the ball too hard came from, is because that was the one area he did not show great touch, was on those swing passes. And sometimes Ty Chandler didn't help him out by the way he ran his route out of the backfield. It got too deep or too far downfield and wasn't where he was supposed to be, so it made it look like it was on JG, but JG would also throw it too hard and it bounced off the hands and you have the risk for a fumble or so on and so forth.
So who looked like they had I know it's day one. I know it's practically meaningless, but who looked like they had a better touch on the football?
Ben's answering the phones. The question was who looked like they had a better touch on the football for the quarterback.
Touch?
Better touch. Mm-hmm. I think Harrison throws a very nice catchable pass. I think it feels like it looks like a big old pillow being thrown at you. It's a pretty ball.
Hooker or Harrison?
Hooker or Harrison?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Harrison throws a nice catchable ball.
Yes.
But I wasn't there yesterday.
Yes, the issue with issue may be too strong of a word, but the question mark with Harrison is his arm strength. Can he push the ball vertically down the field? That is the question mark with Harrison.
Before I go, I take it back. I did watch one video, but it was prior to practice. It was Brent Hubbs and some schlub trying to cover up his bald spot and holding his hands like he's Ricky Bobby. See him on!
I saw a video yesterday. It was the video with talking about the chili with Eckler and the coaches.
That was a good video.
Yeah, can the coaches show a little personality? Can they have a little bit of fun? I mean, ain't like they doing a video in game week. Just win. You can't have fun while trying to win too? Just don't put these videos out.
Those comments existed?
Just win. Yeah, just win. Like you can do both. You can have fun. You can that video is the same type of videos that Tennessee basketball was putting out when Tennessee was winning games too. So you can do both. You can do both, folks. You can have fun, let the coach show the personality, and also pursue victory. Like you can do both.
So it looks like the numerical order thing was true, because the order today was flip-flopped at practice. Bauer, Harrison, Milton, Hooker.
Hey, don't matter to me, man.
I know, but
I know who's gonna be the real contenders for quarterback and who won't. So that ain't gonna matter.
It does matter because everybody was drawing conclusions on yesterday's order, so it's important to have context.
Yeah.
So seems like the order was flipped today, and
cool.
and it truly was based off of numericals. We'll see what it looks like. We're already at the end of this week, so beginning of next week, I'll be curious to see what the order looks like, because all three of the decision makers, Heupel, Halsley, Golish, have said that reps will be based on the previous performance in practice. So that'll change, but smart, in my opinion, by Heupel and them to start them off in numerical order.
Yeah, give them equal reps now. I mean, give them equal reps now. The only reason why you shouldn't give everybody the opportunity to start fall camp. I mean, they've had summer to work on whatever they need to work on from the spring. And so first day, you give everyone equal reps. Second day, you give them equal reps. And I'm glad they're flip-flopping. And, the quarterback looks good when he's throwing the ball to Valus, or a quarterback looks better when he has protection from the first offensive line unit. So, yeah, I mean, you switch them around. But that's going to change here at the first scrimmage.
Yes.
That's when it's going to change.
Which I guess the first scrimmage would be next Saturday. Surely they're not scrimmaging this Saturday because they're not even in pads yet.
And it may change even before then. I think the moment you go in pads, you start doing some 7-on-7, things like that, it's going to start changing. It's going to start changing real soon. But first day, second day, third day. I mean, I can see the quarterbacks all getting equal reps with, the first team guys and the guys that's going to be in the rotation during the season. So you give them an equal chance. You have an idea of what's going to happen, but that doesn't mean that you don't give guys a chance to prove you wrong. You got to give them a chance and let them prove themselves. Hey, man, Josh Dobbs, didn't possibly get a fair shake in practice. You could say that, but he proved the coaches wrong to where they didn't have a choice but to play him, and he played so well that you couldn't take him back out. So that's what Brian Maurer, that's what Harrison Bailey, that's what all those quarterbacks have the chance to do. Is you have an idea of possibly Joe Milton being the starter, but that doesn't mean you don't give the other guys the opportunity to prove you wrong. Simple as that. Anything you have? Who's on the phone? We got some callers.
We got some callers. That's why I shut up. We've got Triple O and Turkey Man.
Triple O, man. Good to hear from you, Triple O.
What's up, brothers?
How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm glad to hear your voices, man.
Oh, thank you, man. You're such a nice guy.
Yeah, I'll try to be.
When did that start?
I don't know. Guess I'm getting old and mellow. I'm getting soft in my old age.
It happens, man.
Oh, man. But, by the way, we need to establish a new rule on your show.
Okay.
Unless it's a former player that stayed at UT and gone to the NFL, we are no longer mentioning anybody that transferred out of here. No more. I don't want to even hear their names. I'm not cheering for them. Bleep them, okay? If you left home, I mean, it's like an ex-girlfriend. You ain't going to holler at your ex-girl when you got a wife, right? You're going to worry about your wife, right? Worry about your current situation, not the former situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's it sounds good. It's hard to do that when you're comparing this team to last year's team and the changes and the improvements or things like that. It's hard not to mention guys from the previous team that may not be with us, but you don't want to harp. You don't want to have a whole segment, a whole show about freaking Eric Gray and Jerry Antano. But I do feel what you're saying though, Triple O. I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you made your choice. I mean, Gary Antano, I understand, right? You've been here, you got your degree, and you dipped, right? I'm talking about everybody else who dipped up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everybody else, it's like, I don't even want to if I see you in the street, just walk on by. You see me in the store, just walk on by. Don't even wave. Just by. Just go. Just keep on walking like CC business.
But hey,
that's just about people.
But when you're able to mention their name, that means that you're over them. Remember when you had an ex-girlfriend and the fact that somebody would bring him up, you get all mad? That was a sign that you still hurt by that person or it still bothers you. The fact that you can mention their name and not really show any type of reaction, that means you're over them.
Well, that's what non-petty people do. I'm petty. I don't want to mention it.
Yeah, so like petty. Now I can talk about Butch and not like get all upset and mad because like I'm over it, man. Like
First of all, there was no such thing as Butch. That was a person named Lyle who had a nickname of Butch. That was Swamp Donkey of the decade, okay?
See,
Swamp Donkey of the decade, Lyle Jones.
See, you still hurt. Look at you. You still hurt.
I ain't hurt. Hey, look here. Swamp Donkey and Milk Duck can't fade me, dog. They can't fade me. I call them out.
There's Triple
O. But I think that I put it like this. If I call you a Swamp Donkey like him, I mean it. Like him, I'm glad he in Arkansas. I'm glad he in the state of Second Kansas. That's where he should be.
Hey.
I'm surprised he ain't at it. I mean, he should be coaching at a level of Mississippi. That's where he should be coaching.
Calm down, Triple O. Calm down. He been gone for a while.
I don't put like this. Put like this. He looked like, you remember? Okay, Jason, I'm going old school. You remember Kirby off of Nintendo, the Kirby game? If you look at Butch's face, don't look just like Kirby.
I had to look that up, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. You get real tricky about previous coaches, man. Good thing I don't mention Matt Patricia.
Oh Lord, don't even get me started on that one. I mean, put it like this. I put it like this. I got a coach that likes to have fun, and I'm enjoying it. I won't tell you this much. I like having a coach that likes to have fun, who likes to compete. I'm enjoying this. It's like, is this what a coach looks like? Is this what fun looks like? I mean, I see the videos. I'm just excited because it's a breath of fresh air, right? When you get a new coach, you get a whole new excitement, right? I mean, yeah, we want to win. Everybody want to win, but I like the excitement of something new, something that's different, especially when it's totally opposite of what you used to seeing, right? That's what makes this opportunity for both me as a UT fan and the Detroit fan. It's like, I got something that's the complete opposite of what I'm used to seeing the last few years. And I'm enjoying it. I actually want to enjoy it. I'm going to actually have fun this season because it's nice to have fun, right? The wins and losses will come, but having fun is a part of the process. You played the game, you know. I mean, you got to love the game in order to play the game.
That's true.
Successfully, in my opinion.
You're a Lions fan, so probably more of the losses will come.
What are
than
the Lions
wins.
going to go this year, or Triple O?
I'm actually going to surprise you here.
To the Birmingham
Everybody
Bowl.
think we're going to be one of the worst 3 teams in the league. But I'm going to tell you this much. I think my old line is going to be one of the top 4 lines in the whole league. I think we win. I think we win 7 games. I think we surprise people. We ain't going to be as bad. I mean, you can't have a defense that was worse than us. We was the worst defense in the league last year. That defense was the worst in the whole league, right? Let's call it out for what it is. That defense was worse than the defense when we went 0-16. When you beating that team franchise, that team last year had more talent and played worse than a team that went winless in the NFL. That should tell you how bad.
If they win
that
7
was.
games, what will your mood be if they win 7 games?
If they move, man, trust me, man, you're going to see me on some hype videos. You're going to see me bumping a whole bunch of music off of YouTube Music. You're going to see me in a dancing move, boy. I'm going to be shaking, man. I'm going to be shaking the boy. Big man got some moves.
What
I'm
are you
be
going to
breaking
be
it down.
shaking?
Man, trust me. I'll be having my little drink in my hand. I'll be happy, man.
Y'all hear how pathetic this is? This is pathetic, Triple O. I'm so disappointed in you. Y'all won 5 games last year, and you talking about you do all this winning 2 extra games, winning 7 games with an NFL schedule. This ain't college. It ain't like you going to a good bowl game after winning 7 games. 7 games, man.
And there's
NFL
an extra
is
game
terrible.
this year.
Huh?
And there's an extra game this year.
It's a first year of a new coach.
You sound like a Lions fan.
Have you ordered your
Don't
Jared
come back.
Goff
You
jersey
disappointed
yet?
me. You know what's disappointing me, Swain, is that the fact is, no matter what you do or who you draft, you will never have a good quarterback, and you will always underutilize your wide receiver core, even though you got a bunch of receivers now.
He's talking about underutilizing receivers.
I know, right? Today's a Hall of Fame game, right? Ain't Calvin Johnson gonna be in there
this weekend?
He gonna be at the game today, ain't he?
Yes.
Oh, and guess what? He was at practice the other day too.
I'm sure he was.
So guess what? I got a Hall of Fame. At least I got a Hall of Fame receiver. I don't know a single one for the Bears.
I'm just looking forward to you having a parade and doing cartwheels and backflips like Steve Spurrier said about Tennessee when y'all win 7 games. I look forward to it, Triple O.
Hey, look here. Let me tell you something. About yourself, Mr. Boo Boo. Just because you on Geico commercials right now, don't be hating on me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be hating on me. All right. First of all, you ain't gonna steal my joy because, like I said, this is year 1.
Choose joy.
You the one that went to the playoffs last year, and you gonna go from 8 wins to 4 wins. You're gonna be picking in top 5.
You know all that too well, my friend. Triple O. Talking about he gonna be dancing and shaking it, winning 7 games.
Just don't be shaking nothing around me.
You kidding me? You sound like a Lions fan. That means you're gonna be drafted in the top 10 again. You're gonna be celebrating. Y'all hear that? Lions fan talking about celebrating after winning 7 games on an NFL schedule.
With an extra game this year. 1 more game than last year.
Triple O, man. Love that dude. All right. Turkey Man, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. I can still hear Triple O going at it. You don't know he's offline. He's still going at it.
He's still on hold. I'm sure he's yelling at the
He's still going.
at the phone.
He definitely is.
I don't hear him now, but I did just then. I had a laugh at that.
They won 5 games last year. He pumped about a 2-game increase.
On a 17-game schedule.
Yeah. Whip-de-do. You're going to go 7-10. Have a damn parade, Triple O. I love that dude, though. All right, Turkey Man, what's up, man?
Are there a rule that says that you can't come out and practice in pads to start with?
Correct. You got to start.
There are a rule?
Yes, there's a rule. You gotta be in shorts a certain number of days, and then shells a certain number of days before you can go to full pad. So this is why you've seen guys like Harrison Bailey and J.J. Peterson, who was in shorts while everybody else was in pads, because everyone has to go through a period where you don't have pads, and then you're able to wear shoulder pads before you get to full pads. So I'm not sure the exact number. I want to say
it's around 6.
5 or 6.
They call it an acclimation period.
Yeah, I think it's pretty silly. Just go ahead and put the dudes in pads.
Trying to limit
Well,
CTE.
they've been working out in shorts all, before season started. They've been running in shorts and so on and so forth. So I didn't understand that. But there's a difference, and I want you to explain that for us. Difference between football speed and speed.
Well, I mean, you can take a guy and put him on the track and he runs a good time, but football speed is not allowing your mind to top your feet. And I think Juwan Jennings is a perfect example. Like he plays the game fast. He doesn't second guess himself. He plays with tenacity, plays with confidence, and when you do that, you're able to play fast. So you can't be timid, you can't be afraid, and I think a lot of that you see a speedy guy go through. It's because when you see a speedy guy not play fast, it's because of the unsureness, the timidness, and the lack of confidence. So there's always a difference between game speed and track speed, and coaches look at guys and say, all right, he may run a 4.6, but he's going to run a 4.6 with pads on. He's going to run 4.6 in the fourth quarter when everybody's tired. He's going to run the same speed all the time. So sometimes that 4.55 or that 4.60 is valuable, and it's faster on tape than it may be in shorts, which is with the clock. So that's the difference. We see track guys, get on the football field and don't play fast, but then you see guys who aren't football players that may not be track stars, but they play faster. And Juwan Jennings is an example of that.
My next question. Am I still there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With Trey Smith, my question or comment is going to be like same reason Trey Smith dropped so many spots in the draft. We knew the caliber player Trey Smith was.
Mm-hmm.
We knew foot in the trenches. We knew. We'd seen it. But the ones that was evaluating him worried about the past.
Mm-hmm.
That's natural.
Yeah, medical history. Yep.
Well, the thing about it is our offense that we're going to be running this year has to be ball out hand quick, making quick decisions, moving the chains, not having false starts, not having penalties, not having stupid mistakes, which means whoever's going to be the quarterback has to be, and I think Ben may be on something of what I've seen looking at Hooker, may be on to something. It may be not the one that has the best talent all over as far as natural skills and stuff, but who can do this to move the sticks and keep you in the right position to move the chains. And that being said, the only thing that somebody's looking at someone from the past is what they have, in the bank, what they've done. So you go look at those things in that situation to evaluate who would go in that situation. Because if a quarterback's throwing off his back foot when he gets tired or in a situation, you can train him, but when he gets tired, he's going back to his old way. We've seen that time and time again.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all I'm saying is whomever that's going to move the sticks, whoever's going to put us in the right position to move the chains, because we do not want what happened in the start of the orange and white game 3 and out, the fastest 3 and out in history, and punt. We can't have that. We can't have 3 and out punt. So we've got to move the chains.
Yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily have to go quick game, get the ball out fast in this offense. I mean, there's going to be times when you do that, but you're going to want to take shots down the football field. And to take shots down the football field, you're going to need to go 5-step drop. You might play fast in between the whistles, lining up things like that, but you're not going to be able to dink and dunk, all season long because DBs and safeties and linebackers are going to sit on those short routes. So it's real simple. It's going to come down to whoever takes care of the football and who's the most consistent and who gets the trust of Josh Heupel better than any other quarterback. That's who's going to play. It's pretty simple.
Consistency, efficiency, pushing the ball down the field were the 3 traits Alex Golesh listed when I asked him about it.
Yep. Simple as that.
Consistency, efficiency, pushing the ball down the field.
Yep. That's what it's going to come down to. So, ain't no reason to overthink it. That's what it's going to be. Simple as that. 865-255-03. Hour 3, powered by Low T Center. I'll be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you start your own business, you know that branding can make or break a new venture. That's why Swain Event relies on 42nd Street. 42nd Street is a strategy agency focused on finding creative, open-minded, results-driven solutions to brand design. After over a decade of operations in East Tennessee, the brand architects at 42nd Street have the experience and creative know-how to ensure the success of your business branding, logo, web presence, and more. To see a real-life example of their amazing work, you can check out our website at swainevent.com. Don't trust the branding of your business to just anyone. Check out my friends at 42nd Street online at 42st.com or give them a call at 865-382-7007. 42nd Street, brand, strategy, design.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over. If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. irisnetworksusa.com.
865-255-03. Let's hit up the text box before we wrap up today's show. Big Bad Voodoo Nate says also Nixon is a Mack truck. Good Lord.
He is that.
Texan Vol said, what's more impressive? Vols winning 7 or the Lions winning 7? Well, Tennessee winning 7.
I think it's more impressive if the Lions win 7.
That's 3 games below 500. Right? How's that impressive?
The Lions are worse than Tennessee.
I don't know. I think the Lions are one of the most underrated teams and could be a breakout team this year, to be honest.
With Jared Goff? Without Sean McVay?
I'm talking like Jared Goff is some garbage or something.
I don't think he's good. I don't think he's garbage. I don't think he's good either.
I think the Lions got some good players, man.
Who? Jalen Reeves-Maybin don't count.
Jalen Reeves-Maybin, that's it.
Kerryon Johnson don't count either. 40-year-old Adrian Peterson don't either.
I don't think he's still on the team.
Is Adrian Peterson with the team?
I don't think he is with the team.
He'll sign with somebody like week 6
God,
after somebody gets hurt.
Sorry, Burrell Vol.
Wikipedia says he's with the Lions.
He's with the Lions. Did he sign a little deal?
It says current team, so I don't know how accurate it is, but Wikipedia says current team, Detroit Lions.
More impressive will be Tennessee winning 7, in my opinion, than the Lions winning 7. Come on, man.
The Lions don't have the benefit of playing Vanderbilt and Tennessee Tech and Bowling Green. The Lions are those teams in the NFL.
But still, it's still, any given Sunday. And last time I checked, Tennessee was 500 versus Vanderbilt in the last 10 years. So just take that for grain of salt there. And the last 2 coaches lost to Vanderbilt their first year. So.
Well, the last 2 coaches weren't Josh Heupel. They weren't the hype man.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just hitting you some facts. I ain't. It hurt me to even say it. So I'm just saying. Well, I'm just saying. All right, let me go back to the text box. Fallstein says, "What happened to mellowing out at his old age?" I knew I was gonna be a trigger triple O, get him going. It was easy too, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm mellowing out. He mentioned the Lions. Ooh, you get fired up. Mafia said Triple O is right. How does a team with depth issues like we have approach full practices? That is from C. Hamilton. Well, you just got to be you have to be cautious. This is where communication from your strength conditioning program and your medical staff is very, very important, vital with your coaching staff. If a guy is gimpy, you got to be careful with him because we have seen an ankle turn into a blown Achilles. We have seen a knee strain turn into a, tear of the ligament inside the knee. So you just got to be really, really careful. But at the same time, you got to hit. To be good at hitting, you got to hit. So you just got to be aware of the signs. And I think a lot of teams around the country are going through this where the rules are put in place to hit less in practice. You see everybody with in practice, they have the pads on their helmets because you just want to limit the amount of banging that takes place in practice. So it just takes communication. Z. Hamilton, that's a great question. That's a great question. Great question. Great point by Jason from the Burrell at 90s Vol. You just don't throw hard balls to running backs. Running backs, most of them have brick hands anyways. Now, they're starting to evolve into pass catchers, but that's a rule of thumb. Just make it easy for the running back. That's not what they do. They don't catch passes with their hands like that. And when you find one that does, they're more valuable than the other backs. Usually is what you can say about it. Ben?
Yo.
Another show in the books, my friend. Tomorrow's the end of the week. We got practice today, tomorrow, Saturday, off on Sunday, and then back at it. I know you guys got great coverage over there at volquest.com. I was over there sneaking this morning, checking out all the good stuff. So keep up with all your practice updates. Head over to volquest.com. Check out the crew there. There's too many of them to even name because they all over practice. Yeah, man. That's all, y'all all over practice. So appreciate your time today. Swain Event, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue, Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Remember, good people, new tankless water heater there at Hiller. You're going to get a free Yeti cooler. And then with the purchase of a new home generator, new HVAC system on select models, you're going to get that free Traeger wood pellet. Hopefully, Ben will let us know when the opening house party is going to be, the housewarming. Congratulations to you and your wife, Ben, Jennifer Morris, for making you an official homeowner. So happy for you, my friend.
Thank you.
I got a bottle of Malibu rum coming your way. Your favorite?
I'll take some ribs instead.
Or you could take a grill.
Forget the casserole.
Or you could take a smoker and then you can make your own ribs.
That's true.
How about that? You can do that now.
I know.
Swain Event, have a great day. Peace and love. We are out.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market. And from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
Good to be back, Jason. We specialize in non-surgical orthopedics, so we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints, including rotator cuff injuries, knee injuries, and elbow and foot problems by using ultrasound-guided injections with PRP. And this form of treatment helps stimulate the body's own reparative process and assist in the healing of damaged tissue.
Doc, what makes your training different than others?
I've been practicing in Knoxville for over 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. They've been the leader in this form of treatment since 1983. I also teach this form of treatment on a national and international basis to other physicians, residents, and medical students. Here in our clinic, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own PRP, which are concentrated platelets, to treat your injury. So in other words, Jason, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Do what the pros, college athletes, and I have done, and visit them online at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in PRP therapy.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work from anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
Home service problems occur, even at the most inconvenient times, like during a health crisis. And Hiller is always here to help you 24/7. As people are social distancing and staying at home on workdays, it's an easier time to take care of home maintenance items that you feel are necessary. And we've put new safety precautions in place, like wearing gloves, avoiding physical contact, new sanitation protocols, and limiting time in your home. We're here for you.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.